right. Welcome, everybody, to an all-new episode of Figure It Out, the show where we try our best to mix our love of figures with our love of everything else. On this episode, we are going to be talking best movie or show endings. That's going to be a lot of fun. Visuals from movies we're going to talk. I got one that'll make Jaydee pretty proud. And then I want to talk some we're going to talk some figures. I just told Joel I just went on Target and you're allowed to now pre-order the figures Pete was talking about, the Disney Plus shows figures. So the WandaVision figures of her final look, Loki from the Time variant when he's in that brown suit, Nemo with removable heads, one being the mask. So it's a lot we're going to get into. But first, I want to introduce our guest of this show. Joe, what's going on, Joe?
What's up, Juwaan? Thank you for having me on. What's up, guys?
Absolutely. I was going to get you on some more podcasts.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Also, Pete, what's going on, Pete?
What's up, everybody? Happy to talk about some toys. And yo, man, I had a tough time hammering out like movie endings for this, but salud, I got them already.
Okay. Oh, he went with the flash.
I did. And I don't know if you guys can read that, but it says, "May you always remain in high spirits," because I had to put a pun on it.
Love it.
Very nice.
I do feel like if like the world was ever in like a shortage of any kind of liquor, like he would be the one that had like the reserve.
He's supposed to stop.
Not for nothing. I'm that guy from Godzilla Kong. Like I'm the dude with the flask in my pocket. Like this is for emergencies only. To say nothing of my interesting conspiracies.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing it with someone just like, damn, there's no liquor anywhere. You see Pete kind of just turn to the side, drink.
The scary thing is for him to have such a stock when he goes through things so quickly. The first podcast I went to the basement with Pete, I went with a bottle of Johnny Walker and dude, we killed it by the end of the podcast. And Ramon doesn't drink, it was just me and Pete. It's true.
Oh man. Next up, Jaydee. What's going on, Jaydee?
What's up, everybody? I'm going with a hot toddy tonight. I want the
nice.
I want the whiskey to sink in very quickly with the extra sugar. So expect me to start calling people out. 40 minutes into this tonight.
We're
like, you mother.
All right, so if he said it's about 40 minutes in, we're gonna make this show 35 minutes. Just
good luck.
And last but definitely not least, my brother Joel. What's going on, Joel?
What's going on, everybody? And it's funny that the topic for today is like you were saying there, the like best ending one. That's this thing I struggled with last week, and you want to make it a full topic this week.
I thought maybe you would go back and go, you know what? Let me look up more endings, but no.
I got one in mind at least this time.
Yeah, I got a few. All
right, cool. So we're gonna start with Joel this time because last time we all took his answers. But we're not gonna start with our major topics. I want to get this out of the way purely because me and Joel talked at it ad nauseum on our Much Ado About Nothing podcast. But I want to hear it from Pete, who wasn't able to join Saturday. Joe was actually in our comment sections when we went live Saturday. From Jaydee, what you guys thought of the finale of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So this one, me and Joel might, kind of add a few things, but we've already said our piece, so we're good on the topic. So I'm gonna start with you, Jaydee. What were your thoughts on the finale?
I like the little seed that was dropped where they said Captain America's on the moon. That was a story element with old man Steve, running Shield from the moon. I was like, ooh, I popped for that. I like that Sam's costume is, I think, the closest comic accurate costume we've gotten in the MCU. Maybe things have been close, but this was the closest. There were still a few pieces that were off, but the colors, the positioning, stuff like that was on point. So I like that with the costume. I wish we got to see, his sidekick guy put on wings, or in an after credit scene working on the wings. It was the close to a good narrative with a lot of setups. So I can appreciate that. Solid 8.5 out of 10 for me.
Cool.
There. What did you think of the power broker reveal?
Oh, I called it. I called it on the show. Go back. I said it, and you guys were like, "No, I think it's gonna be the Mandarin." See, it's the hot toddy. Get it to me already.
To be fair, oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No. I liked it, but I saw that coming, and the whole play with Sharon and Agent 13. Longtime comic readers know what she did, even after Civil War. You don't got to be an old-time comic reader to know how she got involved in stuff like that. I'm looking forward to the whole double agent aspect that they play off, but where are they going to play it off?
Armor Wars would be probably the closest we'd see her involved in. Part of me only liked it because they're giving Sharon Carter the arc that they never gave Natasha, excuse me, which was the double agent. Natasha kind of came in, already had been converted into the good guy. So there wasn't any espionage or any, double crossing. She was with S.H.I.E.L.D. That was it. So it seems like essentially they're giving that persona. And I'm not saying that Sharon Carter didn't do nefarious things or whatever, but the whole double agent thing really is heavily more so towards Natasha. And they just said, no, we're not doing that. But I also think, go ahead.
No, I don't think Natasha played the double agent that long. She was only the evil Black Widow with Hawkeye as her lackey in a handful of issues in Iron Man. Right. And then we saw later on, in Daredevil. Because they needed something to fill in there. So I think Agent Carter had more of a double agent longevity in her career playing both sides. More so than Black Wanda. Black Wanda. Oh, Jesus Christ. Black Widow was
Wanda psych somewhere, just like, who's calling me? But I will say that I think you're right about Falcon's suit. Because when you look at Iron Man suits, they never base any of his suits off of anything from the comics. So they kind of just made how they wanted it to look. So really, yeah. Cap suits never really looked like they did in the comics. So yeah, Falcons is probably
they got deep close with the Cap suit, especially that last one. The only really thing they didn't do with Cap suit was the white arms, and they did it in like Age of Ultron, but they kind of went away from it in like the next couple. But they obviously have their own version of Cap suit because it was never going to be the classic suit like you saw in the first movie, because that just looks silly as you saw. But they nailed it for the most part. Look, they even improved upon the Avengers suit in Endgame compared to the way it looked in the Avengers movie. It looks way better in Endgame than it did in the Avengers movie. And you could definitely tell there's a difference. I don't know what they did. I can't really tell. But they did something that looks way better in Endgame than it did in the Avengers movie.
They also, and I'm always big on this, they also slimmed Chris's suits down. The more movies he kind of went. Like, as he got buffer, they didn't make the suits bulkier to fit the buffness. They kind of made it kind of like skin tight or more so form fitting to him. And to me, I needed that. We were just talking Mortal Kombat. That was my biggest issue with Scorpion and Sub-Zero's looks were pretty bulky. Like Sub-Zero didn't feel accurate till he took it off, and it was just like, that's Sub-Zero. So yeah, as far as costumes goes, they made sure they did not miss a beat with Falcons.
Right.
Wait, say it again, Joe.
It's bright. It's very wild.
Oh, yeah. They made sure that you could see it.
And they gave him the headscarf. I didn't expect them to actually give the headscarf because they kind of avoided that with the Falcon part of the suit. But as Captain America, they actually gave him the whole half a mask. So I appreciate that because they usually avoid that.
Yeah, for sure. And Pete, I'm going to pass it to you. Can we give just a round of applause to how fast Shuri works over there in Wakanda. I mean, goddamn, Bucky told her like the day before, "Hey, can you do me a favor?" Like the next day, like he's like, "Here, I got you a gift." It was just like, what? How? Hey, Shuri, man. But Pete, your thoughts on this finale?
Loved the suit. That was the first thing. Like, I honestly think Jay's right. It was probably the most comic accurate thing we've seen. I mean, the color, that shit just popped, man, as soon as he showed up. I mean, I thought it was a good episode all around. I was very into it. I like that, you know, they kind of had a little bit of an amends with Walker. You know, like he saved those people out of the armored truck and everything. That was cool. And like, you know, eventually they started working together. Like, hey, we were dicks. You're a dick. So let's just stop being dicks. That being said, I had a couple of gripes with it. Obviously, I was very disappointed in the power broker reveal. As obvious as it was, I still found it quite boring. To quote a fellow Peter, I found it shallow and pedantic, Lois. Shallow and pedantic. I'm hoping she was talking to the Mandarin at the end, and like all of this will tie together with something. I don't really like what's her name, Elaine. I know she's an accomplished actor. I don't really care for her because she'll never be anybody but Elaine to me, and I hate Elaine. So I can't disassociate. I can't. She was I hated her. That was my least favorite character on that show. I can't disassociate that. But I did like the U.S. agent thing at the end.
Yeah.
My biggest gripe, the biggest one, was my man Sam throws the shield and Batroc kicks a chair at it and deflects it. What the fuck? Come on, man. This thing was going through trees and shit, banking off things, bong, like a damn frisbee. Come on. Stupid. And then I was really into it when they were going after Carly, and like she's just like throwing people off of cliffs and vans and setting people on fire in vans and shit. I'm like, knock this bitch out. Sam's like, I won't fight you. Beat the shit out of this woman. That's the only damn time I'm ever going to say them words. Beat the shit out of this woman. Knock her at. See you next Tuesday. Damn it.
Thank you.
Oh man, I'm just picturing them fighting on the street, and all you hear is Pete in the back. Beat her ass.
Fly her up into the stratosphere and let go. Oh, damn it.
Thank you.
Oof. Well, I guess this isn't the place to say that I liked Carly, but anyway.
I know you do. And she's cute.
I liked her. I liked her.
I just like, Pete was just like, beat her with your fist. She's like, okay, all right.
Kick her ass, Seabass.
She was going for it, man. She was playing the game to the death. So she should have been able to take those lumps.
I will say, Pete, I do like what Contessa could bring. She alluded to the fact that she's maybe working or worked with Zemo. So I like that could either mean Dark Avengers or Thunderbolts. I want to lean more so. I'm really leaning more so to Dark Avengers purely because part of me, Pete, wants who Sharon was talking to be Norman so bad. Just so bad.
Very interesting.
So another option.
Not for nothing with the new deal with Spider-Man and
that's what I'm saying.
Disney. Right. Yeah. Anything is possible now.
Yep.
So now we can kind of keep fingers crossed. The Morbius Blade at some point. Norman in the MCU at some point. But just a lot kind of sets it up because it's like Rhodey is wearing, well, not currently, but Rhodey
had the Captain Patriot armor, right?
Right. That Norman wears, and it's like if Norman, if Armor Wars does turn out to be that Norman buys out Stark Industries, I'm just picturing Norman just going to Rhodey like, all your suits, mine. Give me them. You can't have any. Give me all of them.
All your base belong to us.
Right, they are mine. I will say I'm with you on the Power Broker reveal, not because of who it was, but purely because you didn't really set up anybody else for someone to assume was. Mine was just like what I wanted it to be. It would there were no hardcore facts of it being the Mandarin. But legit, it was almost as obvious as when they gave us the character Agnes, and then
exactly
stupid, and didn't know that was Agatha Harkness.
Exactly.
So I mean, and again, me and Joel were talking about this. Maybe we have missed something in one of the past movies, but it was a complete 180 of a character turn for Sharon.
Yep.
And then the biggest thing was she just kind of made things a lot tougher for herself. Like, you took Sam and Bucky to meet your doctor. Why would you do that? They didn't know where to find that guy. They had no idea where they were going when they went to Madripoor.
Maybe she's a triple agent.
Oh,
Right.
Could be.
Here would be the confusing part. The United States government clearly was not working. So who is she working for if she
Fury?
So
It's always Nick Fury.
I just pictured Nick Fury up in space, just like, I got aliens to deal with. I ain't got time for this shit.
If she's a triple agent, she's going to be more confusing than Skrulls, honestly.
Oh,
Like, can you trust this bitch at all?
And I said this Saturday, but I feel the need to repeat it again. Sharon is not a Skrull.
Right.
You know that because when she did the facial technology, she wouldn't need that if she was a damn
she wouldn't need
Skrull.
it. Yeah.
She would just transform her face. So clearly she's not a Skrull.
But have we seen her cut her sandwiches?
Exactly.
Wait a minute. Say what you were saying, Joel. Pete, you are something else. Go ahead, Joel.
I'm saying that's true. She wouldn't need the technology to shapeshift. But like if she's not trying to give away her identity, she wouldn't shapeshift in front of people either, you know?
No, but she would have just walked into that crowd already with whatever face.
But I think the point was to show that it was like, you get what I'm saying?
No, I get exactly what you're saying. It was almost the same kind of feel of when Natasha did it in Winter Soldier. Like it was supposed to be that big reveal of like, oh
yeah, this is me. Like, I don't think that's gonna negate it if she is or not. I don't think she is, but I don't think that's the reason you negate it.
I also think if she was, the perfect time would have been she leaves the Capitol building, goes off to like the side somewhere where no one's watching, and then you kind of see like the reveal of it. To me, I think because of my love of Earth's Mightiest Heroes, I just want to see that before we get to
you're gonna get it. Secret Invasion is gonna happen. So it's like
no.
You'll get it.
I want to see it at some point before that show.
Because you probably will. Probably
in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, it was such a jaw dropper when you see them come back from Asgard and Cap's face shifts, and it's like, whoa, wait, what? Like what? So I'm just waiting for one of those moments to where it's someone that I know. It doesn't have to be anyone huge because that gets confusing. Just someone small that we know. But Joe, to end us off on this topic, man, your thoughts on this finale?
All right, so I agree with a couple of things that were said. I also was hoping for maybe a second end credit scene with Torres tinkering with the suit.
Yeah.
You know, showing just laying a breadcrumb, thinking, you know, that he's going to become the next Falcon. I was hoping for that. I also didn't like the Power Broker reveal. I thought it was way too obvious. In fact, I kept saying it on all my streams. No, it can't be. It can't be. It's got to be or it's got to be this, because like you said, it was almost like an Agatha Harkness reveal. It was exactly like that. Like, it was like, it can't be this obvious that that's who it is, but I guess it was. I think it took Sam longer to open the case than it did Shuri building the tech, because it literally took him like the whole episode. Like, he's like, no, let's finish the boat. I don't want to open this Wakanda technology. So I loved the cap suit, hands down. That was one of my favorite parts of the episode. I love the way U.S. Agent looked. I like what they did with Walker's character. I'm not against Sharon being the power broker if that's what it is. And that's the other thing too. Like, is it definitive that she is? Like,
not really. I mean,
it's never really said.
The one thing, no, she doesn't confirm it.
Right.
And also, why would she shoot Backtrack to stop him from?
Right. That's the only thing.
Right. And is Backtrack dead?
I mean, so. I would find it very hard to believe if he is not. I mean, she shot him point blank.
I mean, what's the deal with Backtrack anyway? I've obviously I'd known from since what do you call it? Winter Soldier. But what is his deal? Does he have super strength?
No. So he's just a really experienced fighter. And essentially, I guess he's just who S.H.I.E.L.D. used to call on when they needed nefarious shit done.
Okay.
Yeah.
And apparently it now leaks on to Sharon just going, I got him on retainer just to do, anything heinous I need him.
He was in the comics, he's known for his leaping ability. But
Batroc de Lipa.
Right. That's why in Winter Soldier, you see him do all the acrobatics. Yeah. And then here, because the show deals with a character who can fly. I guess they didn't really feel the need to do it as much.
Yeah.
But you definitely get a sense of that in Winter
Because he held his own against Captain America too in Winter Soldier too.
He sure
I
did.
mean, like,
so he should have kicked Sam's ass.
That's why Sam didn't kick his ass. It took a while.
He did just dip out of that fight, not for nothing.
He's like,
really quickly, Joe, I just want to add this really quickly. One
Okay.
thing I do want to give Shuri a lot of credit for was she made that suit as powerful as she could, knowing that Sam didn't have hands.
exactly.
Like she knew fighting was Cap's thing, like was Steve's thing. It's
Right.
not Sam's thing.
Right.
So the idea of when like that helicopter was crashing
Mhm.
and the wings kind of folded in with the shield being propelled up top.
Right.
She did a lot for that suit, knowing that he has absolutely no hands.
Right.
So I did like that he left that fight before he got his ass whooped. I
Yeah.
appreciated that. I did.
So my two biggest issues with the episode was one. So you have, obviously we were waiting for it. We knew it was going to happen. We knew Falcon was going to don the suit. He was going to become the next Captain America. And that was great. But from the first episode, or maybe even the second episode, the Winter Soldier and Bucky was trying to right all the wrongs he had done. He was trying to make amends with his past. Yuri, the biggest example of that. And yet at the end of the finale, when it's teased, whether it's going to be in the next Captain America movie or another season of this, it says Captain America and still the Winter Soldier.
Mhm.
And I feel like he did all that work. I would have loved if he would either have been, it would have been the White Wolf or even just Bucky, Captain America and Bucky, because he was doing all that. And then the whole Yuri scene,
Yeah.
we were waiting for that setup. We were waiting for that moment. It wasn't at all like climactic. It wasn't emotional. And then they cut away from it.
Yeah, it
I mean, we
essentially.
didn't get the scene.
We said it Saturday. Essentially, was just like, "Yeah, I killed your son. Like, we're good. All right, see you
Why?
later." And it was
Why?
just like, "Wait,
But
what?"
we got the look from the girl at the restaurant. She was like,
Well,
yeah,
I think
good, you better
that
step
look.
away. He's dealing with it. That's that kind of look you get.
Yeah, I think she was kind of just letting him know, like, he's okay. Like he's
Yeah,
okay. You
she's
don't
like-
have to come in here. He's fine. He's getting through it. I don't know. And I'm with you on the Winter Soldier thing. Me and Joel spoke about this. We would have loved if he became Nomad, since we really never got Cap becoming Nomad.
Okay.
He wore the suit.
Okay.
Still thinking that's a possibility. Like,
For sure.
Yeah.
because there's a rumor though for a Nomad. So
And I don't think we should wear. I don't believe Captain America 4 will be called Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Well, didn't Sebastian Stan confirm a season 2 on this already? Didn't he do that over the weekend?
They're doing a season 2 and a 4th movie. What?
I
I
believe
thought his
so.
season 2
Really?
was confirmed as well.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he confirmed it maybe through like his Instagram or something, because he was posting mad shit. He had like all of the stunts and behind the scenes, them jumping out of the helicopter onto like the mat and everything, the foam thing. Like,
That seems really if because I haven't heard anything.
if only there were a way to
extremely
find out.
That's
Did at any point in Sebastian Stan's streams did he mention who was the one that invited him to the cookout? Was it Sam or was it Sam's sister? Woo!
Nice.
Yeah.
Moving in on the
I
system.
swear
Who
doing
invited him? Who fixed
doing-
his plate? Did he fix his own plate or did Sam's sister fix his
well.
plate?
To be fair, JD. To be fair, and I can only speak for us in Black and Hispanic communities. No one ever really fixes their own plate.
Nope.
Somebody's grandma or mom.
Yeah.
So I am curious though, but
So who
and
invited?
he did kind of look like the proud stepdad having the kid like hang on his arm.
So one other
Oh.
thing, and Juwaan, I know you're not going to like this because I know you like the character of Carly, but I felt that the show pushed, or at least Sam did, push the sympathetic trope way too much with her. I mean, I really felt that, yeah, the underlying message of what she was trying to do was positive, but they were kind of terrorists. They really kind of were. I mean, like, she went full blown. She's like, I killed innocent people. I didn't care because they don't mean anything to me. And she even slipped when she said that to John Walker about Lamar. And she goes, no, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean that he was nothing, but he was nothing to the cause.
Right.
So like,
yeah,
killing people wasn't beneath her.
no,
She was a Magneto, bro.
With the
She was a
story,
Magneto. She was a sympathetic villain.
what I think the story was originally supposed to be would have
like Thanos was a sympathetic villain. I think Thanos was a sympathetic villain.
I don't know.
Or maybe not sympathetic. No.
I believe he was right, but I don't know about sympathetic.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll take that back. I used the wrong adjective there. Not
the
sympathetic, but I think
character I've seen in the MCU is probably Killmonger.
I'm trying to think of another sympathetic villain.
That's another cool motherfucker.
Killmonger's one.
Because I mean, again, here the reason why I'm like, I hope Feige doesn't start more of a trend of this. I do like my villain to only exist purely for chaos. Like there is no underlining reasoning for why they want chaos. It's just chaos.
Like the Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, essentially.
Right.
Or really, honestly, most of all these villains he's turning come from the comics being not purely just for anarchy, but
all right. So since you're bringing this up, can we say that Zemo is the true badass of the MCU? Because my man is pulling strings behind fucking bars, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll never forgive this show for making that mask very important, and he wore it once to blow up a tanker and then never again.
Yeah.
I will never understand that ever.
There's definitely more to that story.
Like there was when they first released the test footage for this show, it was Zemo putting on the mask and acting all crazy, and I'm
Purely
like,
for the trailer.
Yeah, that was it. And I'm just like, God damn it, you did it again.
Yep.
Oh, no one respects Maz. That's why I'm so terrified for Snake Eyes. But anyway, to your point, Joe, it seems like originally, from what I'm hearing, it was more so of a virus vaccine storyline that they were originally going with.
Yeah,
they had to pull back from. But there was a lot more involving Mama Danya.
Yeah.
That was supposed to lend more to the sympathetic side of Carly. But it seems like that was more so the vaccine route or the virus route. So when they washed that out, it was kind of just like, well, Mama Danya's dead, and that's
she got tuberculosis.
Yes. Okay, they changed that, and
that was dubbed over. Yeah, that was dubbed over.
The audio of it when he says it, he definitely came into a booth and said that, and then they just put it in there. Tuberculosis was not how Mama Danya.
No, even when she goes to see Mama Danya, right before she dies. That whole scene was dubbed over. That was all voiced over. It was all because of reshoots.
It was a lot of voiceovers.
Even Sharon's.
I was gonna say when Sharon, when she got up to go pour the drink.
Yeah.
You heard her but didn't see her. That was dubbed also.
Yeah.
So this show went through some stuff. So I hope they just stick to now just doing movies. Now that he's Captain America, I don't need it. I don't need this in a show format.
I don't need another season. Honestly, if they're going to give us a Captain America 4, I mean, I love the series so far. I loved WandaVision. I did like this series a lot. I was hoping it was a little longer than 6 episodes. But they were almost an hour long, all of them.
Yeah.
They were like they were really good time limits. But yeah, I'm with you. I want to see movies now. I want to get into the movies. I want to see Shang-Chi that's coming out. I can't wait for Eternals. I want the MCU now, even though I know this is MCU.
I do think the whole purpose of the shows where you could really flesh out smaller stories, or more fan favorite stories, more so than you can do in the movies, because you kind of have to cater more to mainstream when you do it in the movies. So just keep Disney Plus shows for introducing smaller characters that you can then blend into movies, like Moon Knight. Could run 4 seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly you casted someone that you could then translate that into a movie. But to me, that She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, all big players that you could make movies to, I'm fine with them being shows.
What's the next one after Loki? Is it Hawkeye?
No, it's
no,
What If.
What If?
It's What If.
Yeah,
all right.
What
okay.
If.
Can I ask this question about Sam? Anthony Mackie? Mm-hmm. Can he carry a movie by himself?
Well, no, and that's why I don't think he will.
But Captain America might be able to.
But will it hit? If Captain America is one of the MCU's lead vehicles, let's talk about money for a second, right? Mm-hmm. Does Mackie bring that A-list star power that sells X amount of tickets on his name alone? Because that's the type of name you need for this.
I don't think he needs it because he's now Captain America. If they made a movie called Falcon and the Winter Soldier, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay. No way.
Because when you look at the movies that he's led on Netflix, the one where they were wearing the mask and they had to go through the mist, that died on the vine. He had this other movie, Synchronicity, It just came out now, but
he had
that's
another
dead
movie
already.
where he was kind of like
Outside
a
the
black
Wire.
Terminator.
Yeah.
Outside the
where he was
Wire.
a black
How did that
Terminator.
do?
Yeah. It was not good at all. At all. It
Okay.
literally felt like Terminator, and it was just like,
And
ugh.
he killed Altered Carbon season 2.
I would
I'm
agree.
sorry that I was a big fan of it going into it, and that
But
just
to be
that died.
fair, JD, I think what they've been doing when it comes to Anthony Mackie is look at how much talent was surrounding him in this.
Yes.
And I'm not saying Marvel doesn't think he's a good. That's please everyone. That's not what I'm saying. But when we hear the cast of Captain America 4, I think that'll answer your question more so.
Okay.
But him having the name, I think that sells tickets on its own, regardless.
Do you see Bucky in that movie though too, right?
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, it all depends. I have no idea. Like, I don't know if this movie is picking up where this left off, or will we see these characters at some point between now and when that movie comes out.
Gotcha.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Does an Avengers movie come out before that? Is that movie the fallout of who knows? I don't know.
Well, how strong was the Falcon? Was Sam as Captain America storyline in the books? That ran what, maybe 2 years, if that.
Yeah.
Right, and it also ran, parallel with Steve being the head of Shield on the moon. Right. So even there, he wasn't leading it.
Right, but I tell you what he has going in his favor is no one knows that, so no one cares. So it's a whole new audience to the idea of this black man being Captain America. So I think it's just the hype of that. I think there's so many people that have no idea. Like, they're finding out now, like, oh, he was in the okay, all right. So I think, honestly, it'll have the same effect as whoever J.J. Abrams gets to be Superman. The name is what means the most, not who's playing it.
J.J. Abrams is going to be doing Superman?
Yeah. It's producing.
Yeah.
So it's not Cavill anymore?
We don't know.
They didn't
It's
say.
supposed to be an Elseworlds Superman, potentially with I don't know if it's Earth 2 or Earth 3, where it was like Barack Obama was fucking Superman.
The Calvin Ellis Superman.
Yeah.
They drew him exactly like Barack Obama.
Wait.
You could not tell me that was not him.
No, I agree with you on that, but I'm good, Joel, clean that up, because you would have people listening to this like, they made Barack Obama.
I'm sorry.
Calvin Ellis.
But no, so to me, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't think that'll matter, JD. I am with you though. If it was him as Falcon, nah, we wouldn't even have to be having this conversation because it wouldn't work. But him as Captain America, the name means a lot. It's why that I assume whenever Jane becomes Thor and they make a Thor 5 where she's now Thor, it won't matter that it's not Chris Hemsworth as Thor anymore, because it's the name of the character.
Unless Christian Bale kills her in Thor 4.
I really don't see that happening.
I don't
see Taika doing that. I don't see Taika doing
I have to imagine they're doing the cancer storyline, so
right.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll kill her like that.
No, which is crazy, because if you remember in the comics, whenever she doesn't have Mjolnir in her hand, the cancer reverts back and she's like sick. So
sick and bald.
There is a possibility that someone could just go, well, thank you for that hammer, and slit your throat. All right.
Listen, she's not 2 movies where she shaved her head bald. So
true.
That's true.
And I will say this, you could make an argument, those are some pretty iconic movies to where she did it. So it's like, I'm really excited for what she's going to be doing as Thor, not Lady Thor.
Thor, mighty Thor.
That doesn't seem like a what do you call it? A Taika Waititi tone though. Like that whole
of her having cancer.
Yeah,
like I don't think he'll focus on it. I think it'll be some kind of. I think they might go a route of like maybe Gore the God Butcher does something and it like maybe infects her like a cancer. And it makes her sick. You know how he does. So I'm with you on that. I don't think it'll be legit.
It's a valid point.
He has cancer.
Well, it's not gonna be like a depressing movie. If that's what you're thinking.
Right.
Oh well, listen. He already killed Scarlett Johansson.
Oh
so
God, that was. Did everybody see that movie? Did everybody see JoJo?
That was a hard.
I did not.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
But I will say, me and Joel did point out that Taika is doing something that is super cool. When you look at the set photos of Thor, he kind of looks like Thunderstrike. Like the outfit that he has on, and it's like that's pretty dope. That Taika's
the way he's dressed down, it definitely looks like Thunderstrike, but like the classic Thor color scheme. Like he's wearing a red vest. He's got
Please, not the mullet.
No mullet. No mullet. It's still the long hair. It's still the long hair.
He's got his long hair back. Yeah, but it looks like his classic boots from the comic books with the yellow and the black.
I'm gonna watch anything and the MCU puts out. I'm not gonna lie. Whether it's Lady Thor, whether it's Thor starring Natalie Portman, I'll go watch it. But you can't say that just the name alone is gonna sell, because Chris Hemsworth and Thor, especially to the ladies, that's synonymous. It is. I mean, and it's hard. It would really be hard to go see a Thor movie with Natalie Portman at the helm and not Chris Hemsworth.
Well, to be fair, luckily for Marvel, women is not the Thor's hotness is not what sells these.
You're right about that. No, you're right.
It's
you're right.
Just us.
Yeah.
I think they put that in there, so like maybe some ladies that aren't interested in the comic books are just like, it's really good to look at him for 2 hours.
Hey, I'm looking too. And I don't like him like that, but
but I will say we've just seen it in the world we live in. Batman has had so many different actors.
No, you're right.
Name Batman.
No, you're right.
I mean, hell, I'm watching the Superman and Lois show because I'm a fan of Superman.
Right.
I'm pleasantly surprised on how good it is, but
I am too. Except I'm annoyed by one thing. Really annoyed. Y'all spent the whole season and a half building up to Crisis, and then you had Crisis absorb all of these different worlds, and now we have another Lex Luthor from another world. Where's John Cryer, for God's sakes? He's over in Supergirl, wasting his time.
To be fair, I think part of that lends to it'd be a little unfair because John Cryer's Lex was purely for Supergirl.
I know. But I'm really hoping when Supergirl gets canceled after this year that he makes his way over there, because he's just too good.
He's great. He's fucking great.
And and you have to tip your hat to them. As much flack as I give Supergirl, they gave us Lex in his suit, in his actual power suit. So I'm like, gotta tip the hat. But
can I just say, I would absolutely either read a comic, watch a movie, watch a cartoon, whatever, Elseworlds, where fucking Barack Obama is actually Superman. I don't know, the Secretary of Defense just comes in like, Mr. President Kim Jong-un just launched a missile at the United States. This motherfucker. And just flies out the White House window.
I mean, I would love I mean, we did get Donald Glover in a run as Spider-Man, so I'm like, why not? Why not go around with that? That'd be
fast forward, you got Joe Biden like, Mr. President, we need you. He's like, okay, flies into the wall. Like, no, Mr. President, the other way.
I would honestly love that. You got to stop giving people good ideas.
I know. I got to save them for ourselves.
All right, let's move on. Let's go into best visual scene, because this is the one I was super excited to talk about. Jaydee, I told you I went back and watched Mad Max Fury Road. I hadn't seen it in forever, and it's why I thought of this topic, because one of the best visual scenes is 1,000% them riding into the storm. That was just so George Miller. Rewatching that movie, I swear the first thing I said was, damn, if it wasn't for the fact that Favreau was doing amazing in The Mandalorian, I would love a George Miller Mandalorian movie. Because it would just be so beautiful. Just the aesthetic of just the world would be just amazing that George would create. But them riding into that storm is just such a beautiful visual. It honestly reminds me of when in Asgard, in Ragnarok, where you see Thor gaining that confidence, and then you see all the lightning everywhere, and then the silhouette of him jumping up is just beautiful. Things like that really are what captures. I don't care how the movie is. You give me a good visual, you sold me.
It can carry a lot of shitty movies.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can. So that's what I'm putting up here. I'm putting up Mad Max Fury Road as they are riding into the storm. I loved it. And as Jaydee said numerous times, I got to put more respect on Mad Max Fury Road. It's not talked about enough. It needs to be talked about as much as possible. There were so many good performances. And the way they left that, I need a sequel, man. I don't want
one of my favorites.
I want my sequel. God damn you, George Miller. All right.
Furiosa.
I'm gonna pass it off to you, JD. What vision?
Oh no, can you skip because you just took my favorite scene?
Oh, that's what you were gonna put up?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God!
cringe,
No,
So
no.
let's go. Pass it on down. While I do some work.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Damn it! I swear, I thought you were gonna pick something else.
No, man, I mean, that you said it. That nails it on the head, man. You know what? Fuck it. That's it. That's my pick. You nailed it. I mean, just the look of all the different vehicles heading into the storm. The way the clouds are coming on the screen. I'm not a fan of the theater. I'm not, because it's just become so overpriced nowadays. But some things like that, seeing that on a big screen, it's just like, what the fuck, man? It's a simple story. So because the story is simple and easy to understand, it gives you subconsciously more time to look around at what's going on the screen, because you know what's going on. You could pick out the 3 different sets of vehicles. You could pick out, to tie in that scene where you were talking about, Thor coming down with the lightning. You could have done the same thing when the war dogs were coming out with the explosive stabs on the back of the oil tanker. Throw that same lightning out of it, or throw lightning from that smoke storm, from that sandstorm that was coming out. Damn, that's a great fucking flick, man.
Yes, it is. And for the life of me, I've seen this movie 5 times, right, since it came out. Never remember that Kravitz is in it. Never.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised every time I watch the movie. I'm like, oh my God, she's in it. And part of me is just like, Juwaan, you say this every fucking time you see this movie.
Yeah.
Like, when are you going to just remember she's in it? But the role is so small. That's why I think I forget every time. But she's in it.
Kravitz, Elvis's granddaughter,
Jason Statham's wife, I think, was one of
Statham's wife.
Yeah.
The chick from Lovecraft Country with the gap in her teeth. What's her name? And I don't know who the black-haired girl is. I don't know what she did before that. But
I remember telling Joel numerous times, like, man, the Batman is the first time I'll see Kravitz like in anything, and Joel always reminds me she's been in numerous things that you've seen.
A whole bunch of shit. Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm like, I'm forgetting.
And then nothing beats the visual of that big war drum tank with the blind guy just playing the guitar with the flames.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think there's anything out there that can top that. Talk about crazy shit.
I'm with you 100% on that. Him playing, like, just that movie gave you so much like big stadium, big fight feel, especially when the music playing in the back. Oh, that was so good. I'm putting it
Great
on
fucking
the background right now. All right, so technically you took that, JD. That was your pick. So I'll circle back. I'll circle back. You can circle back if you think of another one too. But Pete, I'm gonna pass it to you. What visual are you putting up here?
I mean, I guess I'm just going to give this an honorable mention because I think it's unfair to make it the favorite, but the official Avengers assemble when they all come into the doors, like that was just absolutely awesome. Like, just to see all of it together, to see it all finally come to fruition, that was dope for me. I also thought of, to take a page out of your dad's book, Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. Like, when you saw the City of 1,000 Planets and they flying through, I was like, yo, this looks damn dope. Like, this is
very
awesome.
Underrated movie. Very underrated.
Highly. But for me, my personal favorite, and I love melodrama, and I needed a scene that, it was a little bit more than just a few seconds, a little bit more than just a visual. It gave you just about everything that you needed from, like, the ultimate character, not development, but just awesomeness, was Transformers the movie, 1986. When they land at the Autobot base that's being sieged by the Decepticons, Optimus Prime comes out. Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost. Transforms. Stan Bush starts playing. You got the touch. You got the power. This dude's sniping Decepticons left and right, flipping out of the truck mode, shooting, doing flips in the air, shooting. Oh my God! I get a tear in my eye every single time. It's such a good scene. And then he finally just staring down Megatron, the shadows on him from being in the portiskele, the doorway One shall stand, one shall fall. And then Hot Rod got in the damn way.
Fucking Hot Rod.
Fucking Hot Rod.
Star-Lord got nothing on Hot Rod.
He really don't. And that's why they had to bring him back for, the end of the third season. Mostly
and then they
because
hurt us again by killing him.
They hurt.
Motherfuckers.
But not before giving us all nightmares with zombie Optimus Prime. And if you don't remember that episode, try to go watch that one at like 1:00 in the morning.
No, I love it. I love it. And to your point of the of Endgame, that's just iconic. Like that's something that when we talk superhero movies 50 years from now, it'll be very hard pressed to top that. I mean, except for the day that it's the Avengers, Fantastic Four, and X-Men. I think the only thing that will come close to that feeling is when we have a continuity of a Justice League, and then we get all, not necessarily members, but like an unlimited kind of feel, where we're seeing the world of the DC heroes, on one screen together. That would just be, oh my God. And you can almost recreate that Endgame scene with DC, with Adam being your Ant-Man. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, Superman would be the Cap figure, Batman is the Stark figure.
I think was Justice League Doom was the one where Superman fought Darkseid, and he was like, we have here a very rare opportunity for me to cut loose and show you how powerful I am.
That was Batman, Superman, Apocalypse.
Okay, I always forget
when
what
Darkseid kidnapped Kara.
That was amazing.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Fight between the three of them was just like
that fight in live action with Henry Cavill.
Oh my
God! Forget
that was just
oof. That was the one that came from the Michael Turner series.
Yes.
Yeah, and Superman was talking a lot of shit for somebody that was getting his ass whooped by Darkseid. He had the nerve to say, "If you ever step foot here again," it's like, dog, she beat me. You what? Like, don't be running your mouth, Superman. But no, I really like those two picks, Pete. Joel, what you putting up here for visuals?
I mean, there's so many things you can put up for visuals. Like I honestly love the whole scene at the end of Aquaman. Like that shit was fucking beautiful. Like I watched it like a month ago, so whatever. That thing, I remember watching it in theaters. Like that shit was amazing to watch in theaters. That whole scene is like, it looked like it was in space, but it's in the water. It was just an awesome that visually. We're talking visuals. That thing was fucking insane. They had every weird shit, and we had fucking crab people. It was insane. The whole scene was fucking out of this world. But that's why I give credit to that movie, because they just did shit. I fucking finally saw him on a fucking a sea dragon. That shit was awesome. Him riding the sea dragon.
Yeah.
Him fucking basically like controlling a kraken. It was like insane.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I think another, at least for me, a scene that hit me, because I know we're gonna see it in the future, but in Ready Player One, when we finally see the Gundam, when they bring out the Gundam and he fucking fully forms, I'm like, that fucking was awesome. And I can't see an actual Gundam in an actual movie, but that was just enough to wet my noodle. I love that. Ready Player One was a visual spectacle in general. Like had everything you want. If you like Warner Brother related, that fucking movie had it. Had everything. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. We saw Aquaman together, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Just seeing him in that suit was visual enough for me.
That suit's beautiful.
When he comes out of the waterfall in the accurate suit was just like,
they pull it off. They pull it off. They say it can never happen. That shit was beautiful.
I was just like, and what made it even crazier is, obviously, clearly it's hindsight, but it's like, I really don't think any other actor I could think of could pull that look off. Even if you think it's corny, it's just like, are you gonna go tell Jason Momoa that
Nope.
that he looks corny in that suit? Like, I dare you. But it wasn't even that, Joel. It was, he also got Orm right. Orm looked amazing.
Yeah, Orm looked beautiful. Black Manta looked beautiful. Everyone looked beautiful. I think
Black Manta, to a degree, was kind of just like, we spent a lot of money on everybody else. Like, Black Manta got what was left. But
he looked great though.
I'm trying to think of No, I don't think it was bulky. I think maybe the headpiece was too big. I think maybe that was my problem. The suit wasn't that bulky.
He has a big head.
I mean, if you've seen him on
He does
Super
look like
Friends,
he's got
it was a big head.
Yeah, he has a big
Um,
head.
but no, I mean, you make a great point. Just seeing that's why it's just like, God damn, we have not had a Green Lantern movie. Like we could get that, but in space. Yeah, I don't count that. That doesn't exist. We have not had a Green Lantern movie, only animated.
Getting a series.
No, but like the point that you made, having that big kind of war in water, and you making it look so visually stunning was just. Got to give James Wan a lot of credit. A guy that we thought, man, all he does is horror. He's gonna mess up Aquaman.
That trench scene is beautiful.
Yeah, it's visually it's stunning. Just with him holding the red light, you see the thing coming out the. Oh,
that's so crazy.
Whoo, man! Never did I think I would need a horror mind to do an Aquaman movie. Never would I have thought that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad we got it. All right, Joe, I'm gonna go to you because I don't want to say my other scene because like I'm now terrified that someone's gonna go. No,
I honestly thought twice somebody was gonna say it. You guys got
go ahead. What's yours?
Got dangerously close. So when you had told me about the topics, that was the one thing that I thought I was gonna have trouble with, and it was the only thing I didn't Google anything because I wanted to think of one for myself. So you guys are talking about Endgame. I know it's easy because you know it's new and whatever, but so you almost hit it on the head. It was almost at that scene. So right before the big assemble, when you got Cap just strapping the shield, he's helpless, he's alone, and he's just standing on that little cliff or whatever it is on that ledge, and just looking over across at Thanos and the entire army, and it was literally just him against everyone, on his own. And I love that scene. And then of course that's when you get into your, Cap on your left. But and then of course that whole other scene with everybody coming out of the little holes, whatever, that was great. But that scene with Cap just up against the world, that was great. I loved it.
And I never knew this. I saw it when I rewatched that scene the other day. I didn't know that he was only pulling that as a tourniquet.
Yeah, he was cut. I mean, he was pretty much broken or cut.
He had like a shrapnel in his arm, and it was just like,
yeah,
damn, this hurts. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
I never knew that, but someone made this point and they even put the visual up. They compared that moment where you see Cap and it shows all the enemies on the side. They compared it to Jon Snow.
Okay.
In his battle, where it's him and it's literally everybody else. And it's just like there is always something beautiful about defying the odds. The idea of one against millions.
Yeah.
It's why Zach was able to do an amazing job with 300 of the idea of it's literally only 300 of these guys.
Right.
Like a million of those other guys. And honestly, 300 was the first time I ever heard a green screen. Little fun fact. First time I had ever heard a green screen was from 300.
You heard? I heard of.
Yeah, no. First time I've heard of. Yeah, first time I've heard of.
Please said heard him.
You're young.
Yeah, I mean, when people told me like, Juwaan, you thought there were literally 300 dudes there, I was just like, yeah. They were like, no. They were projecting the screen back. Just like, oh, okay, all right, didn't know, okay. But yeah, no, Joe, that is an amazing scene. It's they had a lot of great visuals in that.
They did.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say probably my favorite visual is Stark thinking he's dying, and then the silhouette of Captain Marvel rescuing him out in space. Just that beating light. And it's funny because Joel in the Avengers game they copy that. Where I won't spoil it for anyone who wants to actually play the game, but they spoil it, but it's not Captain Marvel, it's someone else. But yeah, no, very good scene to put up there, Joe. Before I go to you for your last for your other one, Jaydee, if you have one.
Yeah,
I'm putting up The Shining. Those elevator doors opening and that red blood flowing out of that shit. It's just like, whoa. Like, oh my God. The visual of that alone is insane. Yeah.
Good one.
I'm trying to think. Did I have another one? I don't think I did. Maybe I could put something Matrix in here, but I'm not gonna force it. That's all I'm going. Oh, yes. But I'll say it after you, Jaydee. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna go to Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, the first one.
Yep.
And when you see the dead pirates walking underwater towards the ship, and the light is hitting them, so they're blinking from a full body to the skeletons, and that underwater walk, it's just like that is a badass visual,
that was good.
man.
Which one of the best lines preceded that scene, where he's like, the plot was to like get them all in the boats to attack them, and then you get Jeffrey Rush, mates, take a walk. And Jeffrey Rush is the man. He's my favorite part of all of those movies.
I will say though, they never really give it credit, but Dead Man's Chest, for how amazing he looked for that time, the visual of Davy Jones, how great he looked. No one ever talks about that, and he looked amazing. It's my favorite movie out of the. I only consider 3. I
love.
Yeah, the fourth one.
Honestly,
there's 5 of them, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna power those movies. Honestly,
I give 5 some credit because I really like Javier Bardem. Like he's just he's a scary dude, and like watching him play a ghost pirate, he's got that creep factor there.
He sure does.
Yes, he does. That is honestly for damn sure.
Like I never saw what was it? No Country for Old Men, and that's man, he's fucking scary in that movie.
And even the James Bond flick,
creepy as fuck. That movie.
Out his own jaw. He's like,
that shit was nasty.
Solid.
Yeah, but Pirates of the Caribbean, at least for me, those first 3 movies, you can pick any visual out of any of the 3 of those, and it would be great. Sparrow being eaten at the end of
Kraken.
was great.
Them having them getting married in the middle of a fucking typhoon and shit.
Yes, yeah.
I
think what I loved about him being eaten so much was that I've never considered it a sacrifice. I always considered it to where it was just like, oh fuck.
But that's not even my favorite scene. The favorite scene is the first time we see Jack Sparrow in the first flip.
Yes.
It's a drunk ass protest.
And you think he's
the boat is sinking, he walks onto the deck, onto the pier.
Yeah.
Like, that's
the best. I fell in love with the character from that point on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see what they do with that world going forward. You'd be hard pressed to be able to replace it. So hopefully it's all new characters. And then you find a way to blend the 2 worlds together, but don't try to recreate the same character. Just expand the world. But all right. Anyone else got any other visuals they want to put up here? No? I'm definitely putting, and I know I give the movies a whole bunch of shit, but the first literally few seconds of The Dark Knight, that's iconic. That to me, the visual.
Banksy.
Standing there, holding the mask, waiting for the car to pull up, is just like, you don't need dialogue really in that moment. You don't really need anything. It's just seeing him, knowing that you're about to embark on this journey with the Joker.
And then the music playing, like it all fits perfectly.
Yep. And I'd even say the visual of him removing the clown mask. With the infamous line, whatever doesn't kill you only makes you stranger. Like removing it, like I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Nolan did do a good job.
I'll say this too. The first time we get to see Logan rip shit up in Logan, like as Wolverine, I like seeing him actually stab people with his claws and not like PG version of it. Like I actually see him put his fucking claws through someone's head in the beginning of the movie. Like that's awesome. That whole movie was visually, because of the fact that they let him do him, was awesome for me.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
With you. And go ahead, Joe.
I actually I just thought of a couple of ones, and it's from a movie I actually don't even really like that much. A couple of scenes in The Last Jedi. Actually, you got the throne room scene, with Rey and Kylo. Against the Praetorian Guards, just the red backdrop, the lightsabers and everything. But the scene, even though I hate it, but it's just visually beautiful when Luke walks out of the cave.
Yeah.
And he's looking at the walkers.
Yeah.
When I thought he was just gonna unleash just a bunch of havoc and whatever, and then he just ended up being an image. But that scene visually was beautiful.
Well, if you're throwing that on there, I have to throw in the iconic Darth Vader igniting his lightsaber in Rogue One.
Rogue One.
God damn it! Why are you taking my best ending?
Damn it.
Juwaan, I'm not going to be on the show.
Oh my God!
Oh, that's the
did
best
not,
ending.
I did not know. I did not know that's what you were going with for ending. But to be fair, JD, to be fair, there's a lot you can encompass in that whole ending.
Oh.
Blame
That's
Joe.
like the
You brought up
best-
Star Wars.
Out of the best Star Wars flick of all time, no better Star Wars flick than Rogue One.
I don't know if I can ever say that.
Kidding me?
I don't know if I can ever say that.
Dude.
I have it ranked.
That shows you the most planets, the most aerial combat, the biggest swerve. Nobody survives. The antagonists almost pretty much win. Right?
Can't wait to tell you what you're missing.
They were able to bridge the gap between the prequels and that, so it served the purpose.
Right.
Still
waiting for you to say what you're missing.
I'm not. What am I missing?
No lightsaber battles. There is no Star Wars.
Of course, you
lightsaber battle.
You get the lightsaber at the end with Darth Vader.
He's battling guns. I need
lightsabers. Didn't touch.
Lightsaber. I need
okay,
tip
all right.
He wants to see
okay, and all right. They pulled so much out of the George Lucas archives, calling them the Guardians of the Wills, which was his original name for the script. Having elements that reference THX 1138, which was the
can we say this? Can we say this, JD? And then we're gonna go into this because it's your ending. So we'll go into this. Yeah. Calling him Garen Malik.
Okay.
The Star Killer, right? Extremely disrespectful to the character Garen Malik, Star Killer from The Force Unleashed. It let me know in that moment I will never see him in life.
See, I never played the game, so I didn't know.
Oh my God.
Great game.
I'm sitting in the theater and I'm just like, no way. They're going to make him the actual Star Killer. And I'm watching and I'm just like, oh my God, they just took the name. He's not actually the character from the video game. So I remember sitting there just going, I'm so heartbroken. And then when I saw Vader, I'm like, okay, maybe it ends with like, of course not. Of fucking course not.
I never all right. They gave us another great saying besides all of us saying, may the force be with you, and if you're Catholic, and also with you, that's the perfect response. Right. But they gave us, I'm one with the force is with me. I mean, come on, who doesn't say that when they're driving through night?
I did find it.
I do that all the time, dude.
I did think, because I always like the idea, because it's one thing these movies never explore. It's the idea that there are other people that could use the Force that aren't your main characters.
Yeah. Force sensitive.
I thought Rogue One was giving that to us. But when he got lit the fuck up right after he pulled the lever, I said, oh, no.
But no, he had it because he beat the shit out of the stormtroopers. Yes, he didn't use a lightsaber because he's not a Jedi. We got to see who the person was that had the call sign before Luke. You got to see what happened with Blue Squadron. You got to see Porkins, and I love that guy as a character actor. Even though he passed on, we got to see Porkins in another flick.
And what's funny? A lot of people got confused. Remember the scene where Organa, where the lady's talking to Organa, and he's like, she's like, maybe this is a good time to call your Jedi friend. And a lot of people were like, oh, Luke, and I was just like, you guys are confused on the timeline of the movie. He's talking about Kenobi. Like, why would you guys think he's talking about Luke? You mean the same in the timeline is not a Jedi yet? Like that Luke? No, you're talking about Ben.
Yeah.
But I like that they didn't have to show Ben. I like that. I like that this movie relied heavily, of course, to the part you're about to break down, but it relied heavily on not having to use any elements of what you need to actually sell a Star Wars movie, which is lightsaber battles.
Well, okay, all right, yes, but they showed you that Star Wars can exist beside.
Right.
So, favorite Star Wars flick, hands down.
Yeah, I mean,
you got to see why the Death Star was so easy to fucking destroy.
I will say this: it was a really good way to clean up George's because it was just like, wait, Luke hit, the smallest of fucking targets you could possibly aim for. Now we know it's because they put a chink in the armor so you could aim for
from the beginning, dude.
It was all
great stuff, dude.
Yeah,
great stuff.
I am with you on that. It did feel like a Suicide Squad movie, like a Suicide Squad.
100%.
It was just like,
Not a Suicide
you
Squad.
are not meant
Dirty
to come back.
Dozen. That was the original, not Suicide
Dirty
Squad.
Dozen. Dirty Dozen. Where it's like, you are not meant to come back here. Like,
Oh, yeah.
no one expects you to come back. But no, I mean, you can go into it. I mean, there's more than just what I said.
Of course.
Go
There's
ahead.
so much more. Again, yeah, anything with Donnie Yen where he gets to go off. I mean, come on, man. Alan Tudyk's performance.
Yeah, he was A2SO.
Yeah, dude. We got, okay, we don't have lightsaber battles, but one of the things that's synonymous with a George Lucas flick is having Warwick Davis in a movie. And Warwick Davis was in there, dude. So it didn't check every box, but it checked a lot of them.
And I will say they gave it a lot of flack. I always disagree with it. Yes, could they have been cleaner on Tarkin? For sure. But Tarkin was not a bad film.
I didn't think Tarkin looked that bad.
I thought Leia was worse.
Leia was worse. I agree.
Right.
I
agree.
I think she looked better than Tarkin.
Oh, and we got to see
Leia
Vader
looked
do a
good
space.
To me, that was very obvious for Tarkin for me.
Wow. Okay. Well, to me, it looked like Tarkin was more so you creating the best that you could out of what you had to work with. Yeah. Leia honestly looked like they just took old footage and then just cleaned it up and used that. And I was just like, okay, no. Like, no.
I think she looked better than he did.
Wow. Okay. Fair. I respect that. Clearly, you were using two characters well out of their time. One, rest his soul, being passed away. So it was only but so much you could do. But that's why I'm like, Star Wars never wants to do this, but it's something they should always try to. You could have, for Tarkin, there was only but so much you could do with that. But for Leia, you could have just casted someone and said they were Leia just for that. I mean, you weren't going to do a whole arc on Leia, so you could have just casted somebody else for that. Rather than what you did. It was,
probably could have de-aged her. She was alive at the time.
Oh yeah, de-aged her for sure, 100%. I mean, look how clean Mark Hamill looked at the end of The Mandalorian, to where you were just like, okay, yeah.
Well, every time Marvel talk about clean, this motherfucker barely tell.
I mean, look, Kevin Feige is forever lucky that Disney is who bought Marvel. That is like, hey, Disney, do me a favor. I need like 1.5 billion to make this movie good. And it's like, sure, all right, do what you gotta do.
See, but have they put up a dud yet? That's the other thing. If they were putting up duds, they wouldn't be getting that money.
I'm with you. You know what's so crazy? Everyone always says that, and I always respond with, because I don't ever necessarily judge a movie by the money it makes, because a lot of the times the name is what carries it, right? It's why I say BVS was a very flawed movie, and for all intents and purposes, it made a shit ton of money for a movie that was very incomplete. Hell, Justice League made money, and that movie was hot garbage. So the name very much carries. So to me, money does not define.
Okay.
But I said something on my stream too, because I was doing I think I did a DCEU ranking. And with BVS, I think it made like 850 million. I was like, you have a problem when you have two of the most iconic DC characters in the same movie and it doesn't crack $1 billion. And then you got Captain Marvel, and I'm not shitting on Captain Marvel by any means. It breaks $1 billion.
Yeah.
100% correct.
But it also speaks of the changing of the guard, because now we can't definitively say, we feel that because we came up under the guard of Batman and Superman literally being the most iconic comic book characters. Now
the biggest franchise yet.
Right.
But they're not.
Now we can't say that.
They're not. The most financially lucrative franchises, Spider-Man actually beats out Batman.
Oh, for sure.
I always thought it was Batman over Superman, but Spider-Man beats that out. But the one thing that Marvel has that DC doesn't, Joe, in reference to the 1.5 billion over the 850, is that the MCU stuff is so interwoven that it makes even the lukewarm, viewers want to see that Captain Marvel because they want to see how it connects to everything else, right?
Exactly.
And,
it's 100%
the beauty
correct.
of Disney Plus is, dude, I got people at home rewatching the older, Avengers flicks and Civil War flicks and leading into all of this stuff. and they've seen it 2 or 3 times.
Yep.
Yep.
They still want to watch.
Yep. And
They made it like a TV show, but they're movies. That's how what Marvel is doing is unprecedented. It's not easy to replicate, and that's why what DC did was they rushed it. Period. You know.
Yeah.
But they had the ball. They had the ball long before Marvel ever did.
Oh, they've had the ball for years. But they're too scared to make a move, or they only trust Batman, and for obvious reasons. But there's more to life in DC than Batman.
And what's stupider is no one over there ever said, "Man, Superman's making us a lot of money. Man, Batman's also making us a lot of money." What would it be like if we put them in a movie together? Like that would have been the smartest thing to do. I don't know how many generations ago.
Yeah.
You know, but they've always
they're old-minded motherfuckers over there, and it's taking a while for them to adjust. That's why you're seeing what you're seeing now. It's just a lot of old style school.
But they never needed to innovate. That's the thing, right?
That's why.
The best thing that ever could have happened to Marvel was that Spider-Man and X-Men and the Hulk were not under their roof anymore. So they had to take the chance on whatever the lower tier characters, right? Yeah. The intercontinental champions.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And do something with that.
Yeah.
That's a great reference.
That is an amazing reference, because I can tell you right now, there's been times the Intercontinental Champion I favored more than the WWE Champion. So it means a lot sometimes depending on who wears it. So yeah, very much. So. Yeah. But all right. Very good ending with Darth Vader at the end of Rogue One. That movie was so poetic how it ended, how you saw the explosion coming as they sat there on the sand. And one thing I want to give to Rogue One that most people could care less about, but it meant so much to me. I love that they did not kiss. I love that. I love that you did not have to lean on that romance to sell that. It was just the idea. It was known. It was known that they liked each other. You know, we didn't need anything else to sell that. We saw it. So it was.
I needed full-on nudity, Juwaan. I'm sorry. I need it all.
Always do, Juwaan. You always.
I need hardcore, bro.
If I was getting like lit up by a damn nuclear explosion in space, I probably would have like squeezed a titty or something.
Fondle.
I'm going out happy. Is all I'm saying.
Knowing your luck, the explosion would have stopped halfway, and all it is now is the awkwardness of your hands on her boobs of like.
Yeah. Worth it.
Like, damn it, come on, blast.
Until you tell me to stop, and you know, then it's like, okay, sorry about that.
Yeah,
I misread the moment. I'm sorry.
I thought we were gonna die.
Most people praying. Pete's over there is just like, "Where's boobs?"
I have my priorities right.
I just picture someone going over Pete's bed like, "Did you get your affairs in order?" Yeah, there's like 6 boobs that I always wanted to touch. I got them.
I got them out of the way.
Got all 6.
Fucking list. Bucket list boobs. That's gonna have to be a list that has to be made. That's got to be made. That's a list that needs to be made.
Oh
it's
man!
Like, what are the 6 boobs I've always wanted to honk? Bucket list. All right, clearly we're gonna get canceled. Anyway, Jeff.
It's always me. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go to you, Joe. What is the best movie or show ending that you want to put up here?
All right. I actually have I have both. If you, I don't know if that's all right. I'm gonna go with show. I have a few written down, but I think I'm going to stick with Breaking Bad. I think Breaking Bad, out of most of the shows that I've gotten into over the last over the last 10 years or so, it stuck the landing because it went back and it tied the knots that it was supposed to. You have a lot of shows that they have these setups and they just never get mentioned. Or nothing ever gets rectified, and then you just have an ending. And I think Breaking Bad, although it has some little flaws in itself, but Breaking Bad as a whole of the series, and of course the finale, I think it was one of the better shows. The Sopranos I have written down too as well, but I can't say that for when I was watching The Sopranos when it first aired, because I was like everybody else who watched that show, the finale. I was screaming at my television like, "What the fuck is going on? What is going on right now? Why did it cut to black?" But then, after, you like listening to other people's theories, and I don't know if David Chase meant to do what people say that their interpretation of the way it ended, where we're actually the ones that got whacked as an audience. I really do like that idea. So that makes me think that the Sopranos finale actually isn't as bad as I thought it was back then. With movie, it's one of my favorite movies in the last decade. That's not Marvel or Star Wars related, and that's Inception. This is a movie that I had to watch twice in the theaters, and I've watched it about 40 or 50 times on Blu-ray, because I had to constantly just keep going back and back and back, because I just wanted to see. I don't know, did everybody see this movie?
Yeah.
All right. I don't want to spoil anything. I just kept watching that top, just kept watching this totem, because I wanted to see if there was any, any clues to what was going on, and it was such a great, and with the score, the song Time being played, I think Hans Zimmer did that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The soundtrack is also really good, but that scene at the end where he spins his totem and it just keeps spinning, but at the same time, he just doesn't care because he finally gets to see his kids. It was just a powerful ending. It really was. So out of all the movies that I have written down, Inception is definitely number one for me.
Yeah, I like your pick of shows. Sopranos, to me, I don't ever, the way they asked you to fill in the blanks, I did not like. Like, at least with Inception, it was just like, well, anyone who thinks it was real, anyone who thinks it was fake.
Right.
But Sopranos was just like, it's very possible those guys were there to get something to eat, take a piss, then go back out to their car.
Exactly.
Family walk out of that building. And to me, it's just like, no, absolutely not. You will not be a great show for all these seasons and then give me that. Absolutely not.
The main thing though that you have to pay attention to though, because I know he left the fact of whether he was killed or not. Did Tony get killed or not? He left it open. That's up for interpretation. However, it was the episode, I believe, before that. It was either before that or it might have just been in that season where he's talking to Bobby, and Bobby tells him what he thinks happens when you die and everything cuts to black. Yeah. I think that was there. I think that scene was intentional. And I think that's what happens to Tony.
That's fair. I mean, I will say this. To me, the most impressive thing they did with that last episode was the buildup. When his daughter just couldn't park to save her goddamn life.
Jesus.
I thought it was like, oh, damn, someone's going to come out and like, kill her. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then like the guys come in and Tony is just like eyeballing them. Like, you know what I'm saying? It really built up. And then I remember I didn't watch the show when it was on air. I watched the show maybe 2 or 3 years ago, right? So I remember my dad and my brother were down here watching it. And then when it faded to black, I remember I've never seen two angrier individuals because they thought the cable went out. Like they thought they were remember, this isn't like, oh, you can just go back and watch it in the morning on Hulu. Like this is like shit. If you missed it, someone has to fill you in. So they're thinking like, God damn it, like they're making phone calls like, yo, did your TV go out? And it's like, yeah, it did, but wait, I think I see like end credits. Hold on, like I think that was just it. So to me, it opened up a narrative, kind of like Inception, to where it's just like, you never know. But your pick of Breaking Bad, I love because you have people, spoiler alert for people who may be doing a watch of Breaking Bad now, but you had it to where it was very clear what happened to him. But you have people to this day that are like, nah, he's still alive.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think so.
No.
That's like watching the end of Scarface and then going, well, it's possible someone got to him and like, no, he's dead. Like, he's super dead. But it's because of how iconic the character is. You have people that hold on to that one, like he's still out there. Maybe he's still out there. But yeah, the writing on that show is just amazing. Just the concept of like this school teacher who's just like, I need money. Go ahead and make some meth. It's like,
and
it worked.
Really good show.
That scene at the diner. Yeah. That scene at the diner when he knew where she was going to sit, and he used whatever poison was in the sugar, and he like that was a great callback to that. Like that's what I was talking about, like all the loose ends and just the tie-ins and everything, and that was just what made that show so good. It really, even not just the finale, but the show itself.
My two most favorite scenes out of that whole series is probably what's his name, the cop dude figuring out who Walt is on the toilet. Because it's just like any guy that's ever had a great idea has been on the toilet. So I did love that. That's where he found that.
That was great.
And then when dude's face got blown clean off, where he turns around slowly and you're like, damn, he's still alive. And it's like, no. It's like, no, he is not.
No.
No, that show did a great job. And Inception is really good. I still hold the idea that Shutter Island kind of did it a little better than Inception did.
I almost put Shutter Island down, to be honest with you. Shutter Island is another one that I thought was phenomenal. I really did. Yep. I did, but Inception for me, I don't know why. I just put it on top.
No, I'll say this. Inception was a movie theater feel, right? Like you can't just watch that at home and get the same vibe.
Right.
Shutter Island, very much you could watch anywhere and still get the same effect. It doesn't have to be in a theater. So I get how people kind of, and it's like the action, the spectacle of it. I completely get it. I do. It's why I won't argue anyone. But the writing, I believe, of Shutter Island was much better.
I never finished Shutter Island, so don't spoil it.
Oh my God! It was
man. Superman shows up.
No, Jaydee. To be fair, no. He twists the little totem thing at the end of, and then it leaks into it. No,
it was an atomic blast, and there was a boob feel.
right. Well, I'm glad you said that, Joel, because it was what I was gonna put on there, but something told me to put 2 movies down. So
I have an honorable mention, but I just didn't want to steal. I'm going to wait for everybody else to go around because I do want to mention it. If it doesn't get mentioned, that's why I just didn't want to take anybody's.
Well, we can't mention it now because Joel hasn't finished it, so we're just gonna have to leave Shutter.
No, I have a different. I'm saying I have a different honorable mention that I didn't want to say. Okay. I left off just in case. I didn't want to take anybody's.
I got you. All right, so Joel, you go now, so no one steals yours.
I chose, after much thought, the ending that blew my mind, at least, in theaters, and it was one of the only times I was in theater, and I said out loud, "Holy shit," multiple times at the end of the movie. I was like, because when it hit me, I did not expect it, and I appreciate that happening because that never really happens. So it was Split. When at the
Very
end,
good.
When I find out it's connected to Invincible, whatever, it blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind because the whole movie, I'm waiting for that twist because there's a twist because them night. So I'm like, what the fuck is the twist? Where's the twist? I'm like waiting the whole movie. The movie's about to end, and they show done, and I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah.
And no one understands what the fuck is going on around me except me, and it's like it was really weird to be in that moment where I was really the only one that understood what that was going on, at least in my section of the theater. And I'm like. And I'm with my fiance, and I'm like, "Do you understand what's going? Do you get it? Do you know who that is?" Like that's it. It was one of the best, and for me, one of the best endings I've ever experienced in theaters because I did not see that coming.
I agree.
Right, and what I love, and I think you guys, it's the same thing I love about Prometheus. I love that you got no feel of that original movie from this till you get to that moment. Mm-hmm. So he's not using the allure of that to sell this movie. You think it's its own thing. And then when he pops up, I think the reason why, Joel, it did not strike a lot of people just right off the bat, just so much time between that movie and then this, and that movie I think goes under the radar so often. Like
when did Split come out? 15 or 16?
There was 22 altogether, 20 or 28 altogether. Oh, I'm sorry. You said date. I apologize.
No. I'm just trying to think. When did Split come out?
I think 16.
So you got 16 years because Unbreakable came out, what, 2000?
2000, yeah.
Unbreakable came out 95, 96? I forget.
95? Oh, I thought it was 2000.
That old?
No, it was
no.
2000.
2000, okay.
Like 2000. Around that, 2000, 2001, the latest, but I think 2000.
I would say that movie, for us, I get that this is going to sound ridiculous, but for a lot of people, I think it is probably...
Unbreakable.
Would you say, Joel?
2004. Alex Ross did production work on that.
Yes.
On the original Unbreakable.
Yep.
Really?
I think Unbreakable...
2017. Split. I'm sorry.
I think Unbreakable...
2017?
2017.
Okay.
So,
okay.
In years, bro.
Yeah,
Crazy.
that's a big gap, and not everybody saw Unbreakable. So
right. I was just about to say, I think it's the one Bruce Willis movie that probably the world does not know really.
And
After
it's so
that,
good.
I went back.
And it's so
It
good.
really is. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, no, very, very, very good pick, Joel, because me and my dad saw that at like noon on like a Saturday.
I remember telling you because you didn't want to watch M. Night Shyamalan movies.
Yeah, bro, because M. Night Shyamalan was my Michael Bay before goddamn Michael Bay. He kept luring me into movies that were just not good.
Yeah.
So
Lady in the Water.
No, well, yeah, there's no way in hell I'm giving M. Night Shyamalan my money again. So my dad was just like, no, let's go see it. So it was just like watching it was just like, oh my God. What? Like, what does this mean? They're world building. M. Night Shyamalan is world building. Never would have thought I would have seen the day. So yeah, that was
how he didn't get some sort of nod or nomination for his multiple personalities that he acted through in that flick.
I swear. The problem will always remain until the voting committee gets younger. We won't ever get movies like that nominated. They probably saw that movie and said good performance, but
McAvoy did so good.
He did amazing, especially when he played the woman. I was
yeah.
Just, all right, James. Yes.
Like, a little
okay.
Everything.
Right.
Yeah. And then the protrusion of like when he turned into the monster, like how more brolic
the body
transformation. Amazing.
Yeah, for sure. I would say if M. Night Shyamalan's name was not attached, it probably would have gotten maybe a deeper look. But because the world he comes from, I think voters probably just saw it and just moved right along. They gave it to somebody who tap danced in the movie for 4 hours. All right, Pete, I'm gonna go to you next. What movie you putting up? Movie or show are you putting up here?
I only had one pick until now. Just to piggyback off of Joel's, Unbreakable was a phenomenal movie, and to this day that ending just still sits with me because, like I said before, I love melodrama. So when he shakes his hand, he's like, "I should have known all the time because of the kids. They called me Mr. Glass," and I'm like, "Oh shit, it's a supervillain name!" Like, mind blown right there. Like that was amazing.
Yeah.
Unbreakable is a phenomenal movie, and thanks for the reminder because I forgot how much I really loved that movie until this conversation. But bar none, like the ending for me, the one of the only times that I can really recall yelling in the theater, "Oh shit," was the stinger in Avengers when Thanos turns around. And you realize just how big this whole Marvel Cinematic Universe is about to get. And like I saw Avengers the midnight showing that very like the day before, basically. So like I had nobody had any idea what was happening. I had nothing to worry about spoilers on the internet or anything like that. I'm sitting there complete virgin go like, okay, movie was dope, loved every moment of it, so many great scenes. And I'm like, oh cool, what's the little extra here? And then he's like, to fight them would be to court death. And he just turns around and I was like, oh, like the whole theater just erupted. Oh shit, in like one covalent fecal exclamation. It was just absolutely amazing.
Because it honestly felt like video games from old.
Yeah.
Where you play all these little levels, then you get to that boss that you could never really beat, right? And the idea of the first big WTF of the Marvel universe was Fury showing up.
Yeah.
And then you kind of going, oh my God, wait, what?
Which, if you remember a conversation I didn't even see in the fucking theater because I didn't know about stinger scenes. I left. And Ramon was like, did you see the extra scene? Like, what? I'm about to sneak my ass back into this theater.
It's hilarious because when I saw it with my dad, there was barely anybody left in the theater. And my dad's a big, because, he's a music guy, so he's very much of credits. He likes to see, who did the drums of the song or whatever the hell. So he's just sitting through the credits and we're just sitting there and I'm like, I am so fucking ready to go. And then you get that moment and it's just like, I don't know what this is. It's like you see him step out of the shadow and then it was just like, again, I think what makes these end credit scenes from Marvel so great is it's the dialogue. It's never necessarily the moment. It's the dialogue. And his dialogue of like, oh, you think you're the only one out there? There's oh, there's more? Like, what? What is he saying right now? And then like you said, to challenge them would be to court death. And it's just
that was a great line.
Yeah.
I will say, I will always feel a little bit of anger that line was uttered and we never saw death.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought when that was uttered, it was just like, they're doing Thanos, they're doing death. I don't know what to think. Like, my head's gonna explode.
Yeah.
And then even something so tame as I'll do this myself was just like, oh my god, we're getting closer. It's almost here.
Yep.
So yeah, he did. Wow, Feige. Holy shit. You know what, Joel? I never agreed with that mindset, but I will have to agree with you. I don't think this will ever be replicated. Like I don't think it ever could be.
It's hard.
I agree with that because I'm like, it only takes a good few string of movies and then a good continuity to be able to do it. But it's like there's a reason why no one's been able to do it, I guess. You know?
It's fun. I want it to be don't get me wrong, I want it to be replicated. But I can picture us now, 50 years from now, when Feige's accepted his Oscar for like greatest movie achievement, and we're all just sitting there crying, and like whoever we're next to is just like, what are you crying for? You don't know what this man did for us. Like at that point, we would have had our X-Men movies, our Fantastic Four movies. Like, man, at that
I don't think he's gonna get an Oscar, a lifetime achievement. I think he'll probably get the Kennedy Center honors. You know,
really, you don't think the Oscars would? Because the only reason why I think the Oscars would honor him is a large portion of why movie theaters were doing as well as they were because of the reigniting.
Yeah, I totally get where you're going with that. But you mentioned earlier that old school mentality.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's going to keep going, dude.
You would assume 50 years from now they'd have to be dead, and it would be us being the ones that are.
Yeah, but like, you look at Martin Scorsese, you look at Steven Spielberg, and they talk about superhero flicks like it's,
You'd assume they'd have to be dead, but that adrenochrome really keeps them going for a while.
That is true. And they do always say anger fuels old people. Like, it keeps them alive.
I like how you said like 50 years. Like, me and Jay is going to be like the fucking like Knight Rider, just voices on a computer right now.
You're going to be my Jarvis? That's what you said? You guys are going to be my Jarvis?
First chance I get to download my consciousness into a computer, I'm doing
it.
Zola right now.
Zola.
Hell yeah.
Did you see the latest episode of Invincible? Where they answered that?
I didn't see it yet. No, I'm just waiting. I know the next this Friday I think is the season finale. Yeah, I'm just waiting. I'm just gonna marathon the two of them because I can't do this episode to episode shit.
By the way, we have to do our large review show together.
I'm with it.
We have to do that. But yeah, I do hope that Feige is recognized by those guys because he single-handedly saved. I mean, shit. What is everyone saying now? They're waiting for Black Widow to give us the reemergence of the movie theaters with that release. So it's like it not only saved it once, it's about to save it again.
Right.
So yeah, I'm like, a lot of your My Left Foot movies that come out in theaters that you're nominating, it wouldn't be possible if Feige wasn't just, giving us his greatness. So but Jaydee, what are you putting up here for best ending?
I didn't see it. I said Rogue One.
That's right.
He was first, yeah.
Right.
I was so nervous about forgetting you. I'm like, let me
steal my shit, bro. Steal my shit.
I am going with a movie that I know for a fact me and Jaydee truly appreciate, and that is Sucker Punch.
Yeah,
that movie was not only visually pleasing, but it was a good story.
I liked it.
It really was. And to get to the end to find out like it was all essentially pretty much in her head was just like, oh my god, what? Like, what did I just watch here? And then to see that was the first time outside of maybe school I ever heard of like a lobotomy. So it was just like, oh shit, yeah, that's what the pharaohs and shit did, like in Egypt. Like, okay, yeah. Right. So I put that up there, and then I probably would have to put up there because I'm like one of his biggest fans. Sons of Anarchy. How Sons of Anarchy ended. It was one of the, and I won't spoil it for anyone who maybe hasn't seen it here on this panel, because it's very poetic. So I don't want to spoil it if you have not seen the show. But it's just what you never really expect them to do, right? Shows do make sure that they kill off their main characters or whatever. But where Sons of Anarchy went, you just kind of go, wasn't expecting that. So very pleasantly surprised on how that show progressed. And thankfully, it's how we got Mayans now, and I fucking love Mayans. I can't wait to end this to go watch Mayans. but
you know what? I got an honorable mention. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to say Voltron on Netflix.
Good
Had
one.
a great season series finale.
Mhm.
Tied up everything, like Joe said, with being able to call back and tie things up at the end. It didn't just tie up things at the end of its series. It tied up things at the end of the original Voltron series, and how the port over from Japan to here kind of threw things out of whack. And it was able to tie all of that stuff in.
Mhm.
Visually, it was amazing. Narratively, it was satisfying. And at the end of the day, I was entertained by it. And I'm glad the series was put to rest after 8 seasons and gave me no reason to look forward to anything else. Or was there going to be a spin-off or anything like that?
I would have liked just like a little stinger, even if they never did it, because they introduced the concept of the vehicles.
Yes, they did.
I would have liked to see the build at the end, like they put it all together and just let me see it,
Yeah.
And then I'm done. The vehicle Voltron was never a favorite of mine, but in this context, I would have liked to see the design of it,
Okay. All right. When Voltron was hot when we were kids, my mom bought me the black Shiva version. And I cried. I was like, this is not Voltron. This is not what everybody else has. and she took it back to the store. Nobody knows about, the Shiva version of Voltron. And that's like one of the most expensive pieces today in the aftermarket.
Go figure.
Yeah.
I will throw in for my dad, honorable mention. If he were here, he would want to say Kill Bill 1.
Okay.
Where it's, does she know about her child? And then my dad's favorite, probably shocking ending is a tie between Kaiser Soze and
Usual Suspects.
Yeah, Usual Suspects and Saw.
There was my honorable mention.
That's the one you were gonna say.
Oh, Saw
God
was.
Damn it, I am just the worst. Go ahead.
No, I'll tell you though, but Saw, yeah. I mean, just the fact that he was there the whole time, just laying in that, whatever, the room wasn't a cell, but that the trap room that they were at, it was brilliant. It was just amazing. That original Saw was really good.
Yeah. Because it was a sleight of trick. It was that is what Disney Plus has been doing in their last 2 shows of legit right there the whole time. Like legit laying right there. But Jaydee, I'm very disappointed in you that you did not bring up one of your favorite Christopher Nolan movies.
Prestige?
Yeah. Oh, Prestige, yeah. Prestige was great.
Yeah. Or as I like to call it, Wolverine versus Batman.
That is Wolverine versus
Pretty
Batman.
much.
That is 100% that. But no, that ending still to this day is just like, I don't know what goes through Christopher Nolan's head to be able to do Memento, Prestige,
Inception.
was
Inception.
Leonardo? Yes, Inception. Doing all these
and Interstellar too.
Interstellar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what goes through his head.
Talk about a weird ending.
Yeah, he is definitely.
You want a weird ending? One that still terrifies me to this day, and it's a horror ending. It is the Donald Sutherland version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where at the end it's just him screaming at the camera and it's pointed at you because you didn't know that he got caught and he got turned over. It's a 70s flick, and for some reason the grittiness and 70s cinematography, it just adds to the chilling factor of a flick. And just see him it's the simplest fucking thing. No special effects, just some sound effects. No gore, no bad lighting. It was a straight daylight. Excuse me, a gray day. But he's just calling you out, and you're like,
I got an ending for you. It's another cheesy ass, low budget 70s horror flick. This one with William Shatner called Kingdom of the Spiders. Now, this no giant spiders, no nothing. It just happened to be this little like podunk, hillbilly town, whatever, and they are all of a sudden infested with there's just mad spiders running around. Like there's livestock getting killed and webbed up and shit, and like they trying to flamethrower the spiders and just kill them with all sorts of different poisons and all kinds of shit. And fast forward the end of the movie, like everybody kind of wakes up the next day and they go look out the window and they can't see nothing. It's all like this, like a haze, like fog. What's up?
Webs.
And eventually the camera like zooms out and the whole ass town is just covered in webs. Everything is just webs all over the place. Sick movie.
I like it. Was that?
I bought that shit for like $3 at Woolworth.
Woolworths.
Yeah. Juwaan, I got one more last honorable mention.
Yeah, I'm gonna say one that I'm gonna pass it to you to end this on this topic, Joe. It wasn't a shocking ending by any means, but I really did love the ending of Force Awakens. Her handing the lightsaber to Luke, and then the idea of like, are you gonna grab the shit, Luke? Like, like the camera's panning out, and then like around them, and he's still just standing there. It's just a great feel of like the king has returned. You know, only Ryan Johnson to say fuck all that, but it was just the feel of like the one is back. It's the same feeling I believe I'm gonna get whenever this new Matrix comes out. So the first scene I see Neo, I'm just gonna go, the boy is back. He's back. He's back. But go ahead, Joe. What are you gonna end this out on?
So I had Saw written down, but I also had Fight Club. I thought Fight Club, the reveal, that was all in his head, that Brad Pitt was just a part of him was just really, really cool. And I really like that. Yeah.
That is hilarious, knowing that one of the best scenes in that is legit him beating his own ass.
Yeah.
So it's like you get to the end and you were like, oh, you thought that was crazy.
Yeah.
All this in his head.
Speaking of that, another movie in the same vein. It's called High Tension. It's like a French movie.
Yes! Holy shit, yes!
That movie's insane. And then to find out at the end of the movie what you find out, and you're like, what the fuck? Really? The whole time?
Yes.
Insane.
Oh man, that is such an nobody knows about that shit, dude. Excellent choice.
Yeah,
I do have to ask this because we would be ashamed not to put it on the list, but was it always obvious to everybody what was in the box in 7?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
100%.
Just not to Brad Pitt.
Apparently.
Right.
What's in the box?
I think it was more like he was in denial. Like he didn't want to believe it. He damn well knew.
No, but I'm saying that there was always a theory of like what was in the box. I'm like, well, there's only one thing that would garnish that reaction from him. Like it clearly wasn't like a litter of brand new puppies. Like no, like it was clearly something crazy in there. It was.
Well, I think we had like two choices. It was either, and she wasn't far along enough for it to be like a noticeable fetus, so it could only have been her head.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But again, nonetheless, very, very, very good movie. Very good ending. God, Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. Who would have thought that was the pairing you needed?
No, 7 was great.
All right. Our last topic here. What toy line, a best toy line based off of a movie has to be based off of a movie? Jaydee, I'll start with you.
Okay, thank you. Because I'm going to take the daddy of them all. And even though we're all Joe fans here, I'm going to say Star Wars is the best action figure franchise based off of a movie. Dude, yes, even though you got the action feature working lightsabers in their forearm, that aside, you had some of the greatest vehicles. The X-Wing, Millennium Falcon, who's that?
Hux?
It's
there's
the
Kylo.
fact that there is a Kylo Ren figure shows that the Star Wars toy line is that iconic that it's still going.
Yeah.
I get it. And for a toy line to make me buy 2 different versions of Jedi Luke, versions. I mean, dude, I'm all over it. Star Destroyer, Death Star, they were just sections of it, but your imagination was like, oh my god, Star Destroyer was before the USS Flag. That was a huge play set.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to see Darth, sit in his meditation chamber.
Mhm.
You got an expansive figure line. It kept going even after the movies were done. And dude, it put 1/18 scale figures on the map.
Yep.
Even though you had stuff from was it Remco or was it Ertl that they were doing chips, Buck Rogers, style figures 1/18.
Well,
You guys remember those?
No.
They were very light. They were very flimsy. Like
the only
G.I.
chips
Joe,
thing I remember was the like, I think it was a wind up thing on the motorcycle. Well,
Right,
yeah, there was the big one you could ride, but there was a little one. I'm pretty sure it had that little like the pull drag strip that went on the floor.
Okay, no, but they had 1/18 figures.
Really,
And,
I don't remember that at all.
For the production meeting of the original Joe line in '82, they used some of the chips figures repainted to sell the concept.
I remember they had the Dukes of Hazzard toys like that.
Yeah, so it was that body style, that body.
Right. Just a little bit smaller than Joe's.
Right.
Yeah.
But they were O-rings also.
Were they?
I will say, Jaydee, I am glad that I went to you first because that was what I was gonna put up. Because I was looking for a reason to show off.
Y'all would have been boxing then. That wouldn't.
I wanted to show off my Rebels line, so I went ahead and got Zeb.
Okay.
I went ahead and got Kanan. I went ahead and got Ezra. Got Sabine. Got Hera. Got Hera.
Nice.
Okay.
Got Ahsoka from that line. And my favorite one, because of what you could do with them, is someone just said it 100%. Hold on, I'm trying to pull out what you could do with them.
You better have.
Chopper. Look at that though. The thing that all the robots use to open doors is right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then his arms that you can fold in and take
yeah.
out.
See, there's that too. I got my original AT-AT, in the closet. I would have pulled that out.
Yes.
Love that AT. You know what I mean?
And to get ready for next week, I had to get, and I think I showed you guys this already, but for Joe, I had to get the Bad Batch.
The Rebel?
Gotcha. Bad Batch.
Had to get
the Bad Batch.
Crosshair.
Yeah, see, I didn't follow that stuff.
Oh my God, you would love the Bad Batch. You would love the Bad Batch.
Okay.
Also, because Jaydee, me and you talked about this a million times, they do not have enough or barely any vehicles for the 6
anymore. Yeah.
So I got the only one that they really had.
Snow Speeder, baby.
Very nice.
And you guys can't really see up close, but one side of it, because it fits 2 people in there. So
yeah.
But the one side has like all the mechanics inside, like the buttons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But it's really cool. It's really cool. I had to get it because it was the only one that they had. I don't know why they don't make more for them. I have no idea. They just kind of go, I guess no one likes 6-inch figures, I guess.
Oh, no, they can't afford to do vehicles for 6-inch figures.
Yeah.
Dude.
What?
That's huge. Yeah, so I mean, if you look at like, the 12-inch figure vehicles, like that would be Barbie. They're very flimsy plastic, there's not a lot of detail in it. It's just basically 2 pieces. So like the Barbie Corvette, it's just, 2 slab pieces with wheels in the middle. Not a lot of engineering that goes into it. So with us, that we want all these details, imagine a 6-inch Raven Crest from the Mandalorian. Dude, if the 1/18 went for $400, that bad boy is going for like, $8,000 to $1,000. Who's going to get that?
Yeah, I mean, hell yes. I would have donated every ounce of my body to get
you. You, not the rest of us. We can't, dude. You know what I mean?
I would. You guys would have been like, Juwaan, are you selling yourself on eBay? Yes, I am. So I can get this.
Whatever happened to that kid that sold his virginity? Did he ever get his money? I was rooting for him.
Man. No, I love that pick of Star Wars. Joe was even saying that was where he was going.
Yeah.
They do it the best, honestly. Like, as much as I want to say G.I. Joe, more recently is when they've been slipping, and I can't go all time because all time would be incumbent of now, and now they's not making good figures out here.
Yeah.
Especially with the fact that we just discussed this, Pete, yesterday or the day before. The figures to the movie coming out in 2 months, two and a half months, comes out almost the end of this year. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why would you?
I mean, when you compare the two lines, G.I. Joe does take the edge because by the end of their first run, they had over 500 different styles, over 500 different figures.
That's not a toy line based on a movie. That's a cartoon a movie based on a toy line.
But we're going on a toy
line.
So
yeah, I ignored that entire category because that was not the topic. So like I could have very easily chosen
that was
shit from that.
Yeah, that was my issue. I thought this was going to be an easy topic. I'm like, all right, well, wait a minute. That's a cartoon.
Yeah.
That's a cartoon.
It's hard.
Every single toy of my childhood was a cartoon.
Yep.
Even I actually had the Ghostbusters written down. I was like, wait a minute, that's a cartoon.
Yep.
The figures were cartoons. It wasn't about the movie. Star Wars. My girlfriend's like, what about Star Wars? I was like, like, how did I forget that?
Usually, that's honestly the one I actually picked because I felt as though someone here was going to pick Star Wars. So I had something in my back pocket. I think I actually brought this up before because I was a fan of them. I went Indiana Jones.
Nice. Good call.
Good pull.
The line that I'm specifically talking about was the Crystal Skull line, but not because of the Crystal Skull figures. No. They redid all the movies figures.
Yes. I appreciate that. Yep.
Right. It was that line. So I know for everyone, Crystal Skull was not talking about Crystal Skull. They redid all the movies.
Were the original line of Indiana Jones, was that Kenner or LJN?
I think it was.
I think that was LJN. Actually,
was LJN.
Kenner came after, didn't it?
No. Kenner, because Kenner had been around even before Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because I know Kenner's making some of Star Wars' 3-inch figures now. Or they have.
Nope, it was Kenner.
Oh, it was Kenner?
Yeah.
Kenner rules all.
Right? Kenner's Thanos out here.
Well, no, Kenner's owned by Hasbro. You know that, right? Since the 90s.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys ever watch The Toys That Made Us on Netflix?
Yeah.
Love
of course.
Show.
I love that.
I had to ask. I'm like, this is the only reason I know what the fuck you talk about half the time is because of that show.
Was LJN the wrestling figures, the rubber ones?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, man! Oh God, I remember. First of all, let me just say, I really want to thank technology for advancing us to where we are in figures today.
That can move.
I do remember when the highlight of figures were, it was like the arms only do this, and there's like a lever on the back to make them do that, and it's just like, oh man, that's where moms get the idea that when, or girls in general get the idea that when guys play with figures, it's just this. Because that's legit all you could do with them because they couldn't move. So it's like you legit just had to do.
Y'all remember thumb wrestlers? Remember them?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's way before your time, bro. I'm talking to the two older gentlemen.
I remember thumb
Joel, do you remember that? Are you old enough to remember those? Fucking like Hulk Hogan. Like he looked like this, and you just stuck him on your thumb, and you literally just did this.
Smart, thumb wrestling.
I know Joe. Like you definitely remember sneaking them shits into Saint Cecilia and playing with them at lunch.
Of course,
that's what we did.
Thank goodness for advancement. Even
they all look like football players waiting for a tackle.
Yep.
Oh man, thank God for the times we're in. Pete, I'm gonna go to you. Which one are you putting up here for Toy Line?
All right, so I like I said, I did have to rack my brain on this because I was like, oh shit, everything is a cartoon based on a toy line based on a cartoon, and not vice versa. So thinking about it, by the way, I do want to give a really big shout out to the Movie Maniacs line from McFarlane because holy shit, it's not just one movie, but that shit encompasses a whole bunch of different things and such amazing detail. They're not very playable. They're very like statuesque, so not quite action figures, but still dope. Two that I want to say, I don't have them on me, but the original '89 Batman toy line where like the first Batman was like all in black and he had the belt that came out on the string.
It was a string,
That was a great figure. The Joker was a great figure, and that led into one of the best Batmobiles ever. Like that was a really amazing Batmobile, and it's still on my want list. I will get it eventually.
The tip shot out like a missile, right?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Even the Batwing was nice.
The Batwing was so
Batwing's
dope.
the best.
Oh
wait,
my
which
God.
one are you guys talking about? Because I had a smaller metal one. I had a die-cast metal one.
Yeah,
No, this was like big and plastic.
You had the big one. I had the small.
I didn't have the Batwing. I didn't have any of the vehicles, but I had him and
Batwing.
Joker.
That was the first time I remember seeing Toy Biz on a product.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Toy Biz.
I don't remember Toy Biz prior to that Batman line. They were probably around, but that's the first time I remember seeing the logo.
No, but
that
that's
toy
actually
line led into the like resurgence of DC kind of redoing the superpowers line with like the same action, but like just a slightly bigger figure.
I even had Bob. I even had Bob's figure.
Bro, who didn't have Bob?
He used to kick.
Bob was the peg warmer.
Yeah, Bob was a big peg warmer. It's true.
Yeah.
But like, if I can go to modern age for just a hot second, Joe, I think you just got one of these. The studio series for the 86 Transformers that's coming out now. These are some really nice. The scale is slightly less than Masterpiece, but the price line is perfect. They're like $30 figures. Some 50 for the bigger ones, 20 for the really small ones. They are super detailed. The sculpt is beautiful. The transformations are nice. And most of them, I think, come with like some sort of background for like display. Joe, I think you just got the Studio Series Hot Rod, right? The 86 one?
Me?
Didn't you just buy that?
No. I got
thinking of somebody else then. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I didn't get that. I got an Iron Man small little whatever. I didn't get a Transformers.
I'm sorry. I'm
all right,
mixing
don't worry
up
about
Instagram
it.
friends.
It's okay.
But yeah, if you guys ever want to check out a great series for Transformers that will not break your bank like Masterpiece, the Studio Series 86 Transformers line is absolutely beautiful. I got Hot Rod right now. The whole like thing comes out of the plastic, and it's a display of like the background is Unicron's guts when he lifts up the Matrix of Leadership, opens it, and becomes Rodimus Prime. And now they're releasing a Rodimus Prime that you could literally just stick right behind him to almost like have that transformation scene. And it's a $30 figure, $25. It's fantastic. The Masterpiece is going to run you $150. Like, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. No, I like that pick. I wanted to show this to to Joel because me. By the way, Pete, I just finished the game. You have to get Marvel's Avengers. It is worth it. It is worth it. I just finished it recently. It's a little short, but that's the only. Well,
hopefully they come out with like expansion stuff.
Oh, they have.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Joel, the Stark line from that game.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's a spacesuit.
Yep. You know, I had to get Kamala.
Nice.
And she comes with like bigger arms also. Had to get Cap. I still not a fan of this suit. But
I kind of maybe it's the first time I'm seeing it, but I kind of dig it.
What is that? SWAT Team Edition Captain America?
This is what it looks like, right? You know, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but Joel, my favorite suit of Cap in that game is probably the one that he gets at the very end when they're fighting the main bad. That's probably my favorite.
The one I have now I like the most. It kind of looks like the movie costume a little bit. It has the armor.
This Savage Hulk.
Nice. That's a nice
one. That I don't like. I don't like the look. I don't like the fucking war paint. I don't like the messy hairdo.
He looks like he's an Aborigine. That guy.
He does a little bit, right? And the person that I would love for them to put in the game to be playable. Put Rhodes in the game.
That's
a cool figure.
Hold on. Turn that head to the side. Tell me he got a 90s flat top with the...
Yeah. That's not Brody, though. Straight up.
Yep.
But wait, on the other side, does he have the lines on the other side of his head?
No, just wait. You know, he does. He kind of looks like Wesley's Blade a little bit.
Oh, no way.
That's
super 90s right there, kid.
Yeah.
Love it. Comes with that. And then he comes obviously with his actual War Machine helmet. Yeah, that this Avengers line, they didn't really expand to all the characters. So it's literally Stark, Cap, that Hulk that Pete hates, and Kamala. That's it. That's all they did from that. Because they called it the Gamerverse edition.
Right. There's no Build-A-Figure on that?
Yes, there actually is a Build-A-Figure, and it's Abomination.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
That's, by the way, speaking of just great toy lines, I did pick up this weekend. They had the you mentioned in the beginning of the show that Disney Plus had Disney Store had the exclusive Falcon figure with the wings and the Captain America suit. It was $30. I bought 2 just in case they wound up being worth money, because all of the other figures in the line, they're doing a Build-A-Figure, so you build like the wings. And the Disney Store had the exclusive with the wings. I'm like, I'm just gonna get that.
You know, I pre-ordered them, Pete.
Good call.
They're available in Target June 1st. So it's the time variant Loki in the brown suit. That's one. It's Wanda at the end of WandaVision. It's White Vision. It's Bucky. But if you guys, I'm not going to pull it up. I'll put it in the group chat. If you guys could see Bucky, I swear to God, they made that figure and he looks just like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the face. And I'm just like, they did not look at a picture of Sebastian Stan for this. One of the figures is Sam in the Captain America uniform. No wings, as Pete said, but you get the jetpack and the shield. So the only reason I didn't get the figure you were saying, Pete, was because if I'm getting all these figures that build the wings, you know,
then you're good.
Right. So am I missing anyone? No, I don't think I'm missing anyone.
And these are on Target?
Yeah, you can go on Target right now and pre-order them. They look amazing, especially Loki. It has his wild hair from the trailer with the TVA.
Nice.
It even says TVA on his belt.
Browns. Weird.
Yeah, I know, right? But it's so fun because there's been plenty of Marvel's Loki figures, right? And I've never really loved the look. Some of them with the helmet with the long horn, some of them without. But this is a very subtle look that I just love. I don't know why, but I love it. I
want President Loki. Hopefully they do that one because I love that look.
I would hope so, right? I would. Oh, Zemo. That's who I missed. I'm sorry. They also have Zemo. He comes with the book, his mask, and a golden gun. And I'm just like,
that's cool.
I fucking love Zemo. So yeah. So shout out to Pete because once you told me that, Pete, I was just like, all right, well, let me look. And then it kind of shows the other ones. I was just like, oh.
If anybody cares, the Disney Store is not sold out of the special edition Falcon yet either, to my knowledge. So you can go on there and check and pick that up too. I just figure you never know when something's gonna be worth money because these Marvel Select shits, like, yo, I just sold on eBay Captain America in the stealth suit from Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
it was a loose figure. I don't even think it was complete. That thing just sold for $50. Like,
wow.
Because I will say this also with Marvel's figures like those, once they stop becoming like, you know, the big thing around whenever the release of the movie or the show is, they kind of just disappear.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like for you to buy. I mean, well, yes, I mean for you to find to buy.
But yeah, they disappear online. Yeah.
Yeah. If you have it, it's definitely going to be worth something.
Yeah.
Joe and then Joel, and then we can get out of here. Go ahead, Joe. What do you got?
I had Star Wars. Because I was like, because of the simple fact, like Pete said, I was going through all the stuff that I played with as a kid. I mean, I even had the MASH toys. I had the little figures of the MASH.
So did I.
The MASH series. I had Knight Rider. I had all stuff, but everything was. I mean, that was based on a TV show though. But everything was based on a cartoon. You know, He-Man, Turtles, Thundercats, Silverhawks. Everything I played with, even Voltron, everything was based on whatever. But what I want to say is, like, you had the Ghostbuster line, which was on the cartoon, and now you got these the Hasbro figures now, and these are actually movie accurate figures.
Yeah,
Now, I've been collecting these. I got the Back to the Future, the NECA ones.
Yeah,
NECA
beautiful.
like those were really cool too. But they didn't have stuff like this when we were younger.
Right.
Everything was from cartoons.
Yeah, especially that looks this good.
And the details, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Even the Ecto 1 looks good.
Oh my God, it's so pretty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I did want to bring this up, and I'm going to pass it to you, Joel. I kind of feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like DC has been completely lacking in their figures. Not only their figures, but their vehicles also. Like, they don't really have that. They don't have good 6-inch figures.
Well, the McFarlane line is pretty dope, but
right,
you know,
but that to me is more so collectible. Like, that's not. I mean, that's not your fully posable. The ones.
Okay.
Because the collectibles, what's the one, Joel, you want? What's the one you want, Joel?
The Hot Toys.
No, was it Hot Toys? The statue that AJ was talking about?
Yeah, Hot Toys. Usually it's Hot Toys.
Okay.
Well, they're I don't want to say they're select. They're DC Universe figures that Mattel was doing.
Yes.
Those were pretty extensive, but you know, that line's been dead almost 10 years now.
For sure. They actually just did a DC Universe line. And I was interested in getting the Batman and Batgirl, Jason, and Damian. The Damian figure, they even show it in the photo that they're showing off. The Damian figure, the sword, is like, it's bent. In the box, it's bent. And it's like, why would I want to buy that? Why wouldn't you fix that before you put this here?
Yeah.
So
and their scale figures look like garbage.
I agree. And to me, here's the crazy thing. I can almost say outside of maybe Back to the Future and Knight Rider, right? Outside of those, there is not a more coveted vehicle in all of everything as the Batmobile. How do you not have more 3.75-inch fully posables that can go inside of a Batmobile? I will never understand that. I just don't get, like, it's always the San Diego Comic-Con lines that if you buy on the internet, it's like $800, but like $100 if you go to San Diego. Like, I don't understand how they've been lacking so poorly. Don't get it. And by the way, Jaydee, that company that we were talking about that I bought those DC Injustice figures from, I returned them all. The hands fall off easily. The heads pop off. I won't say their name. We don't need to discredit anybody.
Yeah, but it hurts, man. It hurts.
Pete, I just ordered it.
So good.
You just ordered? Oh,
I just got the Falcon from the Disney store. Yeah, it was still there.
Oh, you got it?
Good call.
Yeah. I like that. I like the way it looks with the wings spread out. I like it a lot.
It's a pretty figure.
Yeah.
Now, if that works, Pete, the way that the Falcon works that I got that came with Bucky, I think the wings pop off of the jetpack.
Okay.
Put the wings literally on like if you wanted to just have them with just the jetpack, without the wings sticking out, you could do that because I don't think they fold down. I think the way they do it is you have to kind of like pop them off. But go ahead, Jaydee. You were saying.
No. You know what? If I could give an honorable mention.
Yeah.
And it came out years after the movie. It actually just released, and it's not even the full line, but the Marvel Legends Into the Spider-Verse figures that are coming out right now.
Nice.
Yes.
Are on point, dude.
Yes.
On point. You know,
yes.
I picked up Peter and I picked up Miles for my nephew because I'm done with Legends. I haven't done Legends since Hasbro took them over. Even though I've been tempted to, I just, you know what, I can't go down that hole right now.
I think they've been doing good. My one issue though, Jaydee, is I don't really like that this. I know that's what Peter looked like in the movie, but I really don't like that they don't have an alternate to where you can kind of with the full mask, because it has it to where he has the mask like sitting on top of his head. Yeah, I'm like, pull it down, down, because you have the hands that you could the full Spider-Man hands, but halfway. I don't like that. Give me the
dude. I like the alternate heads with Miles and you know the jacket, and it just, dude, that figure pops for me, man. And I'm like,
Miles Morales, a nice figure, really is.
Gwen was not bad at all.
I got it right.
Was not bad at all. I really did enjoy their Gwen also. They also had a frog and Prowler. And Prowler was in a red.
I didn't see Prowler yet.
Yeah, Prowler, Red Ninja, Miles, Peter, Gwen, and whatever that frog thing was. That completed the line for.
Yeah, and they all make the Stiltman. But I mean, goddamn, man. So this is my nephew's birthday gift, and I'm just like,
should have got one for you, huh?
I just about to say part of Jaydee is just like.
But you know what's funny is I don't see him anymore. I don't see Miles on the shelf. I see Pete is the peg warmer on this line.
If they still got it at Royal Collectibles up on Metro, you want me to get you one?
Show the bottom.
No. I don't want to go down the hill. I'm tempted.
Jaydee, show the bottom. Wait, Jaydee, show the bottom where it shows the other ones. Yeah. So see Prowler, Pete.
Yeah. So that's a nice looking figure.
Line. That's the full line right there.
You sure that Red Ninja Cat ain't the same dude from the G.I. Joe line? Like, he look exactly the same.
Time out. When you type in G.I. Joe Ninja, that pops up. That ninja pops up.
They call it Hand Ninja.
Uh-huh. You could definitely, those are definitely interchangeable in size. Like, you could army build that entire shit.
Why does it do that? Why does it have like 4 characters from the series and like 2 that don't connect at all?
I don't know. I think it's their way of sliding in. I think it's their way of sliding in a character that doesn't really necessarily belong anywhere else. Like people might get it because they think it belongs in it, And that's really the only way to, I guess, sell it.
And you have to get it because it's crazy to build the bigger piece.
Right.
You know what I
They
mean?
should have did Kingpin as the Build-A-Figure, man.
That would've
I
been
don't know
great.
why. I would have liked the lady Doc Ock. I would have loved her.
Yeah,
Okay.
Played by the great
It was good,
Catherine Hahn.
Yeah.
that was her. No shit, I didn't
Yeah,
realize
that's
that.
Catherine Hahn.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yep. She's getting that Marvel bag. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
man.
Yeah, that Disney money, bro. We talked about it last week with Aquafina getting that Disney money. Get it?
Yep. And wait, JD. Speaking of her, I just told Joel because I'm buying the Shang-Chi line. So I got the Mandarin Wen Wu. Sorry, because they're not calling him the Mandarin
Not yet.
that we know of yet. So it's Wen Wu, Shang-Chi, his sister, can't remember her name, Death Dealer.
Right.
And Aquafina's character is in this toy line, comes with a bow and arrow and everything.
I saw. What's her name in the flick?
Oh God, hold on. I got it right here. I literally got it up right here. It's in my cart. Hold on. Huge shouts out to Target, by the way. It's when I've been getting these for dirt cheap. Her name is Katie.
That's it.
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
It literally says Marvel's Katie. That's it. Simple as that. Nothing else. And what's crazy is if you look at the figure when you guys when we end this and you look at it, swear to God, if you blink, you think it's Mulan. Swear to God, just like Mulan. They didn't even try to change it up. It looks just like Mulan.
Nice.
Until you zoom in and see Aquafina's face and then go, oh, okay, it's not Mulan. But all right, Joel, to end this out, what toy line you putting up here?
I mean, you guys took all of them. I'm like, not really many. There's the Star Wars. Obviously, was the most popular one. Growing up, like you guys are saying, like they're all cartoons. Like my Ninja Turtles. I have like maybe one movie toy from Ninja Turtles. Ghostbusters, same thing. Most of my Ghostbusters toys are cartoon toys. All the Transformers I got are obviously Beast Wars toys, so they're not regular Transformers. And
Did you have any of the RoboCop toys, Joel?
I don't. Like I
did.
watched them. I never actually had a RoboCop toy. Oh, I mean, I think I had one, but it wasn't like a big one.
The old ones had the. I never had them either, but
Cap.
my buddy did. They had the caps.
Caps.
Yeah.
I had it. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I
Yeah.
had the 1/18 scale one where he had the machine gun hand and a removable jetpack.
Well, that's from like part
That's
3.
like 3.
I know
Yeah,
you guys didn't.
Oh yeah.
I know you guys didn't like the movie, but I like the newer figures for the newer one purely because it came with actual vehicles. Like I really enjoy RoboCop with actual vehicles. I'm sorry, however you feel about the movie, I'm not here to argue that. But
I don't
I
even
get like it's toy line.
in that movie. I mean, his old vehicle was the cop car, the shitty Detroit cop car, and then
The OCP baby.
Wait,
OC
did
And
that
Ed
toy line
209.
come with it? Did that
209
toy line come with the car?
he had a
There was a
car.
car for the old-
Oh, okay, okay.
But yeah, like toy line, the only movie toy line that I had as a kid that I used the most, and I had probably more movie toy line, was Batman.
Yeah.
Like I had 9 Batman toy line. I had a couple of those. I had a gold Batman. He was legit gold. I don't know where he came with something, but his cape would come off. It was like a cloth cape, but it like
That was the superpowers, like that was like the trademark, was that little neckline
The clip.
cape.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right. A funny thing about that one, Joel, that was the first like official planned variant of the line.
Really?
And yeah. So because of that, I forgot who was the name of the lead on that line, but he ended up becoming one of the big wigs at Kenner after that. But because of that, you know, they took the body style of Batman, like shit, how else can we make more money of it? And all they did was repaint that same body style gold, and they threw that winged action feature backpack on him. But that was one of the first planned variants of an action figure line, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I remember having. I mean, I had a whole bunch of different versions of that, and I didn't have many Batman. I just remember having the gold one, and I never really had. My cousin had the Batmobile. He had the Batwing, and used to be able to sit the Batman inside. Those toys. And it was. I remember having also from Batman and Robin the Bat Hammer. It was like the ice fucking thing that he used to ride.
Wow.
I remember that. That was pretty interesting. But those are the only movie things I really had, like movie toys.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like you guys said, you don't really think about it till like the topic pops up, and then you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean,
there aren't many. There just really aren't. And
I mean, now there's more than there was when we were kids. You know, like they're making, you know, they made the Masters of the Universe ones based on the movie. And say what you want about the movie, the figures look pretty dope. Not for nothing. That gold armor Skeletor. Sick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I will say there's. I feel like Invincible should be a project that has figures out.
Yeah.
The Boys should be a product that has figures out.
I feel Mad Max should have been a product that had figures out. Do it in 124.
Not for nothing. That sounds like a topic for another show.
Ooh.
Where's the movies that should have had toy lines?
Yeah.
Good call, Pete. Yeah.
Okay.
Look
at Pete.
See, I'm not just a pretty face.
Yeah,
Well, what bothered me about the Star Wars line, for The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, I collected from the Disney store. I got these the Elite series. They were made of die-cast metal.
Mm.
And for the Rise of Skywalker, there was none. So it kind of pissed me off. Like I would have bought Ben Solo. I would have bought, if they would have made that character, I would have bought some of the characters from the Rise of Skywalker just to complete the series. And then you have that.
I think the best figures that came from that series was they had a 6-inch throne for Snoke. Where he's sitting on his throne chair.
Oh, right, the black series.
Right, and then the part that connects with that is the Kylo Ren 6-inch figure that comes with the removable head of the broken mask that he reassembles.
Okay.
And I'm just like, that was beautiful. I love that. I really do love that. But yeah, I'm glad you said that, Pete. That is a conversation for a different day.
That's a good one.
It's a well we can go down.
Yeah. All right, really quickly. I'm sorry. A few things that none of us mentioned. Some of us old timers, because I guess we never bought them. But Jurassic Park had a toy line based on the movie.
Yeah.
Last Action Hero had a toy line.
Really? I don't remember that.
Yeah. Oh my God! I just slipped my foot. Commando. Did anybody get the Commando?
I actually looked it up, and I did not know it was out, but I saw it for the first time
I might
today.
have had it. I might have had Commando when I was younger. I can't remember.
Yes, dude. He had the light, thin plastic vest.
Mm-hmm.
He had
cloth pants, big like Mad MC Hammer pants.
Yes, you were able to pull the blade off of it, and he came with that weird bazooka that had the 4 points on it.
Oh, wait, I forgot about the original Rocky dolls, and I even had Karate Kid. I had the one that chopped the wood. I had Daniel, I had Johnny
on that.
I forgot about the Karate Kid toys.
Yep.
And I had Clubber Lang. I had Apollo Creed. I didn't have Drago. I had Rocky. I even bought, like 15 years ago, I bought the other ones that came out recently.
I did have to buy the new one though when it come out.
Oh wow.
Mr. T is number one on my list of people that I'm dying to meet at a Comic-Con or something. Man, I used to put my grandmother's rosary beads around my neck and run around the house pretending to be Mr. T. I would love to meet Mr. T.
I had the Mr. T doll. I had the Michael Jackson doll too, but I had the Mr. T doll that had like the plastic chains on them, whatever. But he was a bigger doll. It was
the
about
18 figures, they're like 6 inches.
Also the 18. I had the 18 toys.
I told you guys the 18 for that movie made a good line of figures.
Okay.
You did say that.
Yeah, they made a really good line of figures. It literally came and went because that movie came and went. They had the van and they had all the guys. I still to this day love that movie, talking about
it was a good movie.
Surprising endings. It was a really good way that they ended that movie.
Yeah.
I got to give a shout out to this dude Retro Gimmick on Instagram. He does custom figures, and I picked up this custom Master T Star Wars toy.
No, I tell you what, Anakin wouldn't have been able to throw that guy out the window.
Hell no way.
No way.
Pity the fool.
Great.
We now need somebody to do a mashup, like an animation mashup to replace Mace Windu with
yes.
So where every time Anakin talks to him, he just has that scowl on, so he's just always angry.
Yeah.
But picture a Master Jedi with all gold chains, like where you just get Obi-Wan and Yoda just giving him like that stink.
Oh my God! and he has the perfect name, Master T.
Yes.
I'm pinning a fool that turned to the dark side.
What color would his saber be? Would it be gold? What is it?
It has to be gold.
No, you know
Has to
what
be
it would
gold.
be? No, you know what it would be?
100%.
It
What?
would be he would take the chains off and extend it.
Nice.
Like
Yes.
one long lightsaber. He'd be the only one without a handle for a lightsaber. He could just twirl the gold chain.
I ain't getting on no Millennium Falcon. I ain't getting on no Millennium Falcon, Luke.
No, they gotta sedate him every time they put him on.
That's great.
Oh, man.
No, he would just be the one Jedi that only does home missions.
He drives everywhere.
like when Cad Bane tries to steal like one of the crystals or something, like, oh, Mr. T to the rescue.
man.
But when they gotta fly to
That's
different
great.
planets, no way in hell.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We need to create that. JD, you need to pin that. We need to make this. You need to make this happen. But I want to thank Joe really quickly. Joe, please plug your YouTube page.
You can find me at Just Your Average Joe on YouTube. Just type that in, Just Your Average Joe. You can find me on there.
Please make sure you guys subscribe. Joe actually does have a video out where you guys break down the finale, right?
Yes, I do.
Yep.
Just
So
put
make
that
sure
up.
you guys go check that out.
Thank you. I
And I will
appreciate that.
say, Joe does respect you guys' time. His videos are not long at all. He is not me who tries to 4-hour you to death. So, so please make sure you guys go check it out. Thank you so much.
I appreciate
for joining,
that.
Joe.
I appreciate that.
We got to get on Pete to create that Pete's Basement Star Wars episode so we can do it.
Tell me,
Pete.
let me know when. Let's do it.
Pete, whenever.
Me and Joe, I've always been like, let's do it. We're ready whenever.
Do you not notice every the last couple times you've been on the Star
I
Wars?
know
have been
you've been
teased.
poking at me. All right, I got to get one more person involved in this, and then it's a go. So you guys just want to like talk about everything Star Wars based?
Everything Star Wars from
Whatever.
inception.
Whatever.
Okay. Well, so we're gonna Inceptionize Star Wars.
Yeah,
I get it.
I'm
Exactly.
going to chronologically break down Star Wars.
All right, so this is
Take
gonna be
like
like
a
a
half-hour
7-hour. I'm just gonna have 3 bottles of whiskey with me
Yeah,
for that
that's it.
There
day.
you go.
And I'm gonna just let y'all talk.
You know, you need to start at THX 1138, right? You know that, right?
Yes, I know.
You don't know about
That's-
THX 1138?
No,
Oh
He's
my
too
God,
young
you're
for
not a
that.
soul, dude.
I
That was
don't
George
think you
Lucas.
can ever utter
That was
those words.
all right. So that was George Lucas's college thesis film,
Mhm.
and then when Francis Ford Coppola started American Zoetrope, that was the first film that came out of that production.
Yeah.
Was that, and he elevated it up there. A lot of the sound effects from Star Wars began there. A
Wilhelm,
lot. What's up?
the Wilhelm scream.
The Wilhelm scream.
No, not the Wilhelm scream. A lot of the over the radio stuff. Like I said, some of the units, like the hand cart the hand controls from Rogue One came out of there. The way you would hear the vehicles zoom by, those sound effects were in there. And then of course THX 1138. 1138 was on the back of the Stormtroopers backpacks.
Yeah.
And it was, the sound THX. So you got to start there, dude.
Oh, fair. Well, again, the one thing you did not say is any lightsaber battles. So no, I'm gonna go. To me, Star Wars begins and ends with lightsabers. If I don't have it, it's incomplete. Don't call it Star Wars.
So do you count The Last Jedi as a lightsaber battle?
No. None of that was a lightsaber. No, nothing.
There was no lightsabers touched.
Well, not save it for the basement show. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this.
All right. I want to thank you guys for joining me for an all-new
All right.
episode of Figure It Out. This was a very, very, very fun one.
Have fun.
Shout out to Tia who wanted to join, but she'll join us on another episode. We really need you guys to light up the like button, the follow button, and give us some comments. Tell us what movies, shows, figures you guys would put in these conversations that we had. We need more conversation from you guys, because I shouldn't be the only one that gets picked on. We should be able to pick on I'm tired of being a running joke.
Come at me, bro.
Yes, put it all to JD. Send it all to JD. But thank you guys very much. We will see you guys next week. And I do want to say this. We are taking a break from the MCR. We will be back when Loki is back. So don't look for our shows on Saturdays for a while. So even though I am going to be doing a Star Wars Saturday show for Bad Batch every week. So stay tuned for that. Cannot wait to get into that. 70 minutes for the first episode, guys. 70. All right, guys. We will see you next week. Till then, peace.
Later, everybody.
Good night, guys.